Hey, everyone. Happy Saturday night. Welcome, everyone. Well, it's, who could that be? Are we doing a bit, Johnny?
No, my phone's been ringing all day. Should I answer it?
Like, you didn't fill me in on that.
No.
Yeah, definitely answer it.
Well,
hello. Who could that be? Sounds like a recording.
going to voicemail.
Oh, wait a minute. They called you when it's going to voicemail? That doesn't make any sense. Well, anyway, while Johnny's on the phone, welcome everyone. It's I don't even know what today is. Well, it's definitely Saturday, December 15th, 13th, I guess. My eyes are getting terrible. 12:03. So it's Sunday over here. While Johnny's busy.
All right. I hung up. I don't know who that is. That's somebody.
Was it a voicemail that you were listening to?
No. When you call my number, I can actually listen. I can send it to voicemail, and then I can listen while they're leaving the message, and I can jump in. They were saying something about a Van Halen care package that they ordered.
From you? They ordered it from you?
No. And then they started giving their address, and that's when I hung up. But
yeah.
So hey, if you're watching this, I really don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe they're trying to send you something.
I have no idea.
Text Johnny. The number's on the down there somewhere. If you want to ask us any questions, you can send a text to Johnny, and if you want to get on the air, you can send a text to Johnny. And
they've been calling me all day. This person has been calling me all day.
Well, it's an obsessive fan apparently, and they really want to get in touch with you.
I'll text them back here.
Yeah.
What should I say? What should I say? Because I don't know what.
Thank you for your interest in the Johnny Beane television network.
I don't know what they're talking about. Something about a Van Halen.
Please send me a Van Halen care package whenever you'd like. My address is such and such.
Was this a winner from the Halloween show?
You're asking me? I have no clue.
I don't know either.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I'll text them back later.
But hey, is this anybody in the chat? Let's hear it.
Yeah, if you're watching this right, I'm assuming if you have that number, you probably watched the show.
Edwin Crane, the number is in the comments or in the info below.
Richard. You want me to say that, Richard? No, I can't say that. He wants me to write back. What do you want?
What do you want?
Yeah, so I don't know who that is, but they've been calling me all day long. And in fact, I thought that was Fruitcake Tony.
Wow.
Because they're calling from the same state as Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So I messaged Tony earlier. I'm like, hey, have you been calling me? Because this number's been calling me, but they haven't left any messages. This is the first time they've actually left a message.
Mm-hmm.
Like just now. So I thought it was Tony. And so Tony called me earlier, and he's like, no, that's not me calling you, but, yeah, Richard, I know you're kidding, man.
But thanks anyway.
Robert, I'm sorry, Robert. Robert's messaging me on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, welcome on Facebook, welcome on YouTube.
I'll message them back because I really don't know what they're talking about.
Might be interesting. We'll stay tuned.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, man.
How
are you doing?
Good. How was your week, man?
Oh, it's been good, man. It's been it's crazy, man. Like I was talking to Jay Hannon. We've got the show we do on Friday nights.
Yeah, great show last night.
Talking Van Halen, and yeah, it's been great. It's getting better and better. And we were saying, Jay was saying, Johnny, I haven't seen you since last Saturday night. You know, and I'm like, yeah, it's been such a busy week. It feels like last week was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even with all this going on, this time of year is still. You go out and shopping, it's like nothing's going on. I mean, you just drive downtown and it's so busy, like you wouldn't even think that there was all this other crap going on.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I just mean around here because since last Saturday, I was live Tuesday, with Mancuda and Neanderthal. We're live on Tuesdays talking guitars and 80s metal.
80s metal, yeah.
And so we were live Tuesday, and then I was live. Was I live or I uploaded a video Wednesday? No. I was live Wednesday with Rob.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
That's what it was. I was live with Rob Johnson on Wednesday. Do I have that card here? Yeah, there it is. No, that's not it. That's not it either. It's none of those. It's none of these. I guess I deleted it. So I was live, with Rob and Wednesday, and then Thursday I uploaded a video.
You did the Zeke video, or was it the
Zeke Clark talking about Zeke and what's going on with him, which we'll talk about tonight.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that was Thursday. I was talking about that, and then Friday, last night I was live with Jay. So it's like I've been doing like videos or like almost every day this week. So that's one of the reasons why, it's been such a long week for me, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
But wow, we got 60 watching. We're 8 minutes into this. Awesome.
Excellent. Hit the thumbs up. How about the channel members? Who could they be? I don't even know.
These guys?
Oh, there they are. Those people. Charles Green, Joe Christian, Wayne O.A., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Ben Tom, Mike Neese, Frank Corcoran, Michael Smith, Captain, who we may be seeing later. David Ennis. Let's hear from David Ennis, man. We haven't heard from you in a little while. The generous David Ennis. That kind of rhymes.
Yeah.
Dan Halen and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael?
Yes. Who else? Executive channel. Become a channel member. Hit that join button.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I know it's really close to the thumbs down button, so you can mistake the channel member button for the thumbs down button, and we'd appreciate that.
Well, what if, what would you prefer? Obviously you prefer hitting the channel, but if they hit, if they, I'm going to shut up. I was going to say they could hit the thumbs down and then join. Would that be okay? I mean,
that'd be fine.
Yeah. So you'd rather have them join, but don't hit the thumbs down. I don't know where I was going with that.
Either way.
That made no sense.
Either way. And we're live on Facebook as well, where we have a new feature called Facebook Stars. And if you'd like to support the channel, support the shows with some stars on Facebook.
Support the team.
We'd appreciate that. We've been having a lot more. Does that make sense? There's more people watching from Facebook these days, I've noticed.
Excellent.
So
that's more the merrier in this merry time of year. And let's welcome the merriest member of the merry bunch. Neanderthal, how you doing?
Well, we're going to find out how I'm doing.
What are we on time? What are we on? Some kind of a delay here? Something we're anticipating?
No, I'm just I don't know if my audio is going to be any good. I have no idea. I have a dog that's in my face. The usual.
Sounds good.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. I've been sort of screwing with my audio interface for about a week, and playing with sample rates and all that nonsense, and hoping this will work out. And if it doesn't, then I'll screw with the sample rate some more.
Yeah, it sounds good. I did hear a couple pops, but it stopped. It stopped after a couple of seconds. So I think you're in good shape.
All right, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, how was your week, Paul?
Busy. We just finished up a thing. For those that don't know, I do a radio show in Phoenix, Arizona with a partner on the classic rock station here in town. And we do a charity event every year for veterans that are serving away, or service members who are serving away from their families during the holiday, called 10,000 for the Troops. And in a year where we didn't expect to get more cards, which is basically what we do, is we try to solicit people to give us greeting cards. So anybody that's doing their holiday cards, drop an extra one in a box and stuff like that. We send them overseas to service people who are away from their families. So they just let them know that we're thinking of them during the holidays. We shoot for 10,000. We've had as much as 74,000 in years past. This year, we didn't expect to get anywhere close to 20,000. We ended up with 55,404 cards.
Oh, wow, great.
Which was, for a 10-day promotion, that kind of deal. It just reinforces that people overall are good, which, during a time like this, we're thankful. We're thankful for that. So it was very humbling. So it was sort of an exhausting week, but other than that, we're good.
Excellent.
And people are saying the mic.
Congratulations.
Some people are saying the mic is popping. Some people are saying it's not popping. I don't know what to tell you.
It's not.
It sounds all right to me. It sounds.
Yeah,
fine.
it sounds good.
All right.
Oh, I'm burping though.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. If not, I'll change a setting and see what we have to do. In the meantime, I got to tell you that video that Jason Becker shared. I don't know if anybody has spoken to that. I imagine you and Rob spoke of it last night.
It just dropped today.
Oh, it did. All right.
It just dropped today, although I knew about it for a few weeks.
Yeah, it is. Of course you did, because that's some next level nerd shit, is what that is.
Well, Jason's my friend. I know.
I know. And I love, my thoughts on Jason. I am a massive fan, and wished I lived in that part of the country still, so that I could put the touch on you as a friend to introduce me to Jason, because I have been a fan since day one, since Cacophony, and the first time we'd ever heard the first note from him. I love Jason, and find him to be an amazing inspiration. As goofy and cynical as the world is, and as sarcastic and abrasive as I can be on occasion, Jason is an example of perseverance and positivity, and just an inspiration for everybody. And it brings tears to my eyes when I think of him, because he's just, I don't know anybody on the face of the earth that's ever been dealt a hand like Jason, and handled it with such grace and strength. His positivity is inspiring and humbling. And to see that video, for those that haven't seen it, you should see it. And I'm sure Johnny will share it at some point in the Discord if it hasn't already been done so, or you can check out the Van Halen news desk have it.
They have it. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And basically it is the late Edward Van Halen visiting Jason in 1996 and handing him one of the first 100 prototypes of the Wolfgang, and spending some time with him, and just being a real human being during a time where he really didn't have to be. And it speaks volumes of both of them. And there's one point in the video, and I won't give much of it away, but there's one point in the video where Ed does and says something incredibly stupid. And it's so fun to see how he handles it, and everybody in the room handles it well. And there are several jams, several little gems of musical content that come up that Eddie is playing on the guitar in front of Jason, who was incapable of playing guitar at the time, that would come out later on down the line, that are just so fun to see him. It's almost like he was working those pieces out in the video. Like he was almost presenting them to Jason to see if Jason approved. And I mean, just a humbling and amazing 11 minutes of video that if you are a fan of either man or neither man, you really should check out, because it's everything right about the world in one 11-minute piece of video. So that's been my day today. I was just completely blown away by that, and I can't recommend that enough. And if anybody hasn't seen it, you should take the 11 minutes and do it. So there you go. There's my official review.
I haven't watched it yet, but Johnny was talking about it.
John, come on.
It's so good.
That's a big secret. Johnny was talking about it earlier.
I heard about the video. Was it the last time I saw Jason, or the time before? It's been a few years. It's several years back. Jason, a group of us were there with Jason after one of his birthdays, just hanging out. And that's when he told us, he's like, well, there's video of Eddie here at the house, and so I've known that there has been a video for several years now, but to finally see it. Is that
the first time you've seen it?
Actually, I saw it probably a couple weeks ago.
No, but I mean that's the first time you've seen it. It's been around since '96.
Yeah,
and Jason has kept this under wraps since then. And that's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
you would think Jason would be like, "Hey man, check this out." That's just speaks to the character of who he is.
Yeah, and actually, my friend Dave actually was gonna maybe join us. He's partly responsible for that video actually being out. Dave, are you watching?
Hey, Dave.
What's he gonna do? Answer?
Yeah, he was here the other night. He was.
No, but I mean, you know,
I'm coming.
No, and Stephen Franklin says, "I know what happened," and yes, he did handle it right, and everybody in the room handled it, and everybody knows what he meant to say and why he said it, and what was it wasn't malicious. It was a great example of who Eddie Van Halen is. Just stream of consciousness.
Not that
it was just stream of consciousness.
I know what you mean.
It shows you that he's just a normal person.
Yeah.
But what was great about it was his embarrassment, which, by the way, Eddie Van Halen, you know, when he wasn't on stage, and anybody that's ever been on stage will tell you this, it gives you being on stage gives you an opportunity to sort of play a role, play a character, to hide behind a facade. There's an incredible lack of intimacy when you're standing on stage in front of 50,000 people. You know, I've done it in different capacities to different size crowds, both as a musician and as a radio performer. But when Eddie gets into a room with 5 or 6 people, he is completely shy and humble and soft-spoken. And this was one of those moments. And it was funny because Jason was still a little bit more expressive than he is now for obvious reasons. And just, it was a cool moment. And Eddie was almost in this video. He was almost intimidated. I mean, the greatest guitar player on the planet was intimidated sitting across from Jason Becker, knowing who Jason Becker was, knowing what Jason Becker had already done. And it was a fairly small, I mean, you know, overall, Jason's body of work is relatively small in comparison. To watch Eddie Van Halen act like the fanboy and sort of the embarrassed kid was just a nice gift for Jason to give us.
Yeah.
And him saying fuck in front of the family was funny too. I'll give that part away. He said it a couple of times, and then you could see, like, when he did it, he did the whole Eddie Van Halen face a little bit. He was like, didn't realize he had done it because he was just so relaxed and natural.
Yeah. And if I just messaged my friend Dave, if he jumps in, he has the link. Yeah, because my friend, he told me, I heard about that literally like days after it happened back in '96. This friend of mine is friends with Jason Becker with the family. That's how I know Jason. He told me literally like a couple days after that, he's like Eddie was here. He's like, Eddie was in Richmond. He was at Jason's house, and I couldn't believe it. You know, back then, being, you know, the huge fan that I am.
All right, sure.
I'm like, no way. And even just to think of Eddie coming to Richmond, California, just at all, because that's a rough area. I mean, if you know Richmond. So just to think that Eddie showed up at his house and so anyway, getting to see that video, like I said, I saw it a couple weeks ago, but I saw it, you know, this morning when it dropped, and then of course my phone started ringing. People started calling me. Everybody's sending it to me. Oh, there he is. Yeah, man.
You know what it does? It reminds me of a little bit of the scene in Almost Famous where the guitar player takes off and just goes and hangs out with some good Kansas folks.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Drops acid.
Yeah, drops acid. But I mean, obviously there isn't that. But it did remind me of that, you know, Eddie just showing up in Richmond randomly.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be in any town. That would be amazing.
Can you imagine, you know, being at the house and the doorbell rings and you open the door and, hi, I'm Ed.
Hey man.
Can I come in? and I'll be honest with you, as I'm watching it, the guitar that Eddie hands Jason, which I think he said was number 47 of the first 100. I have one, not one of those, but I have that exact same patent pending black, PV Wolfgang with the maple neck. And as I'm watching Eddie play it, I'm like, God, I'm glad I hung on to that guitar. Like, I'm glad I have one of the original patent pending ones and not one with the the patent number on it and stuff like that. Because those were the first ones. And to see that he gave one to Jason and I have one in my house, I'm like, it's like you feel like you belong to a club.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Let me find a picture. Yeah, because I've seen that guitar.
The only thing that I was bummed about it is that they don't show you or say what Edward wrote on the guitar.
Well, I can show you because I've taken pictures.
Of course.
Of course you have. What are you, big timing us?
Definitely a nerd club. Johnny's friend Dave.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. There's me next to the guitar right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice looking.
And then
it's funny because those Wolfgangs, those original, patent pending Wolfgangs, there's nothing special about them other than the fact that on the back, there's no serial number, no a patent number on it or anything. It's got the branded Eddie Van Halen signature and it says patent pending on it. But for whatever reason, it's almost like the 59 Les Pauls or whatever it is. There's a finite number of them and but there's nothing real special about them.
Pre-production models, or they were
at first about the first year or so.
So just early production models.
The early production, but it was the first year. So like from 96 through maybe, because they didn't come out till later 96. And then I think in 98 they started putting the patent number on them. So for about the first year. So I don't know how many were produced that way. Not a lot, obviously.
Right.
But they're just kind of neat.
Brian Spalding. Look at this, man. Here's me and Brian Spalding and Matt Blackett. He was with Guitar Player at the time. So this guy in our chat right here. That's us.
Renus, to answer Renus Pinkel, Eddie didn't own the patent for Music Man. Music Man owned that guitar. That guitar existed before Eddie Van Halen. It was originally supposed to be for somebody else.
The Axis?
Yeah.
When did they named it the Axis after Ed, or did it have that? It was called the Axis before Ed.
The body shape and the name existed before Eddie Van Halen. Eddie liked the body shape, made a couple of suggestions, and Dudley Gimple made a couple of changes to it, and then basically made it the Eddie Van Halen signature guitar.
So
but that guitar existed before.
Where are the pre-Eddie?
I think there's one.
Style.
If you look at, there's an old video of a tour of the Music Man factory, where I think Sterling Ball shows a white one.
Yeah,
that was a prototype. Cool. Yeah.
Well, was it an Eddie Van Halen prototype, or was it the prototype of the?
It was an Eddie Van Halen. It was an Eddie Van Halen prototype, but I think they were supposed to be the original Alvin Lee guitars.
Oh yeah, okay.
And Eddie liked the shape and basically stole the. That's why he had to change the shape, and couldn't get a patent on the headstock because it's the Ernie Ball headstock. That 4.2 configuration is something that Ernie Ball owns the patent to, and the guitar itself he owns the guitar body shape. They own the patent to, which is why Eddie had to change them. That's exactly why Eddie had to change them. The only thing I think that Ernie Ball could keep, that Eddie could keep was, I think, the way the pickup configuration was reversed.
Yeah, but did he trademark that? That wasn't necessarily a trademark.
I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can, but
no.
There's me and Brian Spalding again.
Spalding?
Nice. The only times we'd see each other was at Jason's house. Although we did run into each other at NAMM one year.
Ernie Ball doesn't hold the rights to the pickup. DiMarzio holds the rights to the pickup, and Ernie Ball holds the contract with DiMarzio. They're specifically made for the Ernie Ball Music Man and Axis. But that's the guitar that he gives Jason. That's a PV. That's an early PV.
Okay, so here's...
Was that at Jason's house, that picture?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here's...
Oh, I just noticed you have one right behind you.
No, Stephen. The Ernie Ball Music Man doesn't have a
TV?
D-tuner.
What?
Is that
No, yeah, that's the David Ennis EVH.
Yes. Awesome.
But whoa! Again, if anybody's heard from David Ennis, please let us know, because I haven't seen him in any of these chats for a while.
We miss you, David.
Which is kind of weird. But yeah. So the guitar says Jason. It says Jason. We will play. Oh, come on! It's one of those pictures where you take it sideways, and every time you move your phone, it like keeps switching.
You know,
Jason, we will play guitar together in the future. Love from heart to your soul. Edward Van Halen, 96.
And this was during the period where Eddie was doing a lot of kissing. There's a lot of kissing in the video. Yes, Stephen Franklin, Eddie Van Halen. The D-Tuna became part of the Eddie Van Halen guitar when PV. During the PV version of the Wolfgang.
Here's a part of the cake from Jason's birthday that year.
Is that the head? Wait a minute. Was that a headstock left on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a guitar, and then there we are.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyway, yeah, man, that video, that was just amazing to. I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, for me, it's weird because I heard about it, literally days after it happened, and then just to see, that all these years later, and being, the nerd that I am, I've been in that house. I know exactly, just so to see Eddie in there, it was pretty cool. Actually, very cool. I mean, the whole thing's just very cool. And again, if you have not seen it, John Biel, definitely check it out, because it's actually, if John Biel watches it live, we can watch it, we can actually watch John cry. we haven't seen you cry yet, man.
You really want to do that? If you play the video live, I'll watch it live and cry. But you don't like to play videos live, so.
Well,
I can watch it on my phone, and I'll
actually
hold back the tears.
with them, I think it'd be fine. Although I'm not going to do it, because actually,
of course you're not.
No, we just had somebody somebody re-uploaded it, and we got
that's somebody. I mean,
we got them to take it down.
Video.
Somebody else had re-uploaded it to different places, and we had them take it down because it's not cool to re-upload something like that and put their branding on it.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Somebody did that on Instagram, yeah, and but they have since taken it down. So,
no, that's nice of them. I hate that. I hate when people steal content inadvertently or otherwise. Mm-hmm. It's real simple to just hit share. Just copy the link and hit share and give the credit to the people that have the original content.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. When you do something like, well, I mean, you're in radio, I mean, when you cross the line of sharing and then stealing, there's a definite.
Yeah. Well, where the line was crossed, I can tell you, in my opinion, where the line was crossed is when they re-uploaded it and put their brand on it and took credit for it.
Oh yeah.
Had they re-uploaded it and said thanks to the Becker family or thanks to Jason Becker or Jason Becker's website to promote, then I would have said, okay, now they're at least promoting.
Well, actually, they did both. Like if you read in the description, it said Jason uploaded this. It went right to Jason's Instagram, all that stuff. But you're watching the video and it says at so and so somebody else branded onto it, and
that's where the line is crossed. I mean, I'm not going to badmouth it because I don't know that there was nefarious intent, but that's where the line is crossed. That's where you're trying to take credit for someone else's work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Dead
Oh,
stop.
Nerd Halen. Hey, you ready?
Nerd Halen. Welcome.
Hey, man.
What's up? How's everybody
Caleb.
doing? Hey,
Doing well.
John,
Hey, man.
go take the 11 minutes, go watch and then come back. Do it.
Yeah, it's
Do
worth it.
Do it. All right, let me check.
Or just
I'll turn down my volume. Yeah.
Mute your microphone and we'll watch you. We'll keep you in the corner there and we'll watch you. And we'll know exactly what we're seeing.
Yeah, I bet you we can tell where you are in the video based upon your reactions.
Just don't look down because you'll hurt your neck.
It's freaking heavy.
It's cool. It's such a cool moment.
Yep.
And Caleb, you know what the moment I was talking about in the video where you just see him and he kind of go, oh, okay. And Ed was just like, duh.
Well, I think anybody would have said that if they were doing that.
Right.
It's such a regular thing to say.
Yep. But then it was funny because he thought about it as he said it. And never really said it until after somebody, like, I know he and Jason absolutely knew what he meant and what he was saying without saying it. But then Ed had to explain to everybody else in the room. Yeah. And everybody handled it so well. Yeah,
because it was so raw. And Eddie, Eddie has no filter. Anybody who's ever met Eddie Van Halen, he has no filter. Like, he says whatever.
Innocence.
At whatever comes through. And like he explains in the video, it just comes through me when he's talking about, because someone says, you're the greatest. And he hates hearing that. And he just says, look, it's not me. I'm just a tool of, the man upstairs, he says. And that's what he wants me to do. I don't know where it comes from. He's like, it comes out of thin air. Where does it come from? No one's telling me this, so I still think he's a little more special than he gives himself credit for, but that's just me. But.
Well, there's a greatness isn't something that you bestow upon yourself. Greatness or legend status is something that is bestowed upon you by others based upon their experiences and things that they see. And I use Jerry Rice as a great example of that. Jerry Rice never called himself the greatest football player of all time. And I don't mean just wide receiver. I mean greatest football player of all time. And yet everyone else does. And Jerry is never, ever, he never talks about his accomplishments. He talks about how fortunate he was, how those around him supported him, and hard work and perseverance and luck and the gifts that he was given outside of who he is. And I think that's what all greats do.
Well, all the humble greats.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yngwie is another situation.
You won't find Kanye,
right,
talking like that.
Yeah, but Kanye's batshit crazy. I mean, Eddie was batshit crazy in his own way too. I mean, I think there's a fine line between Jesus and insanity. You've heard that, everybody says it, but there's a level of otherworldliness, almost like those who are on the spectrum have like an unexplainable advancement an unexplainable advancement in other senses or other perceptions or whatever it is, skill sets. It's like, they say we only tap into like 1/7 or 1/8 of our brain capacity. Well, these people like Edward Van Halen, are tapping into a place that he isn't consciously aware of and has no way to explain. And I think that there's something really special about that.
Yeah. No,
and Jason Becker too. Jason Becker has that same thing. Jason Becker had, he not been dealt the cards, and even the cards that he's been dealt, with the cards he's been dealt, has created some of the most amazing guitar music. He was on the precipice of being an Edward Van Halen, Steve Vai, one of those names that would have been a household name and he is a household name for guitar players who know. Yeah, but he would have been much bigger amongst the public. Perception.
No, for anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about,
right?
We're talking about somebody who had everything in his talent toolbox across the board, like every part of music and guitar.
Otherworldly talent.
And he he could do everything that everybody else did. And there's not a lot of guys who can do that. Like Edward Van Halen can't play like Joe Satriani.
Right. And Jason brought his own spin to it. You know, there are certain guys, there are guys like, and I mentioned, I've mentioned in the past, Vito Bratta from White Lion. Mm-hmm. He was another chameleon, another guy who could do anything that you put in front of him and put his own flavor to it. And there are the number of guys that can do that. For example, Steve Vai plays like Steve Vai. He can mimic anything, but Steve Vai is nothing but Steve Vai.
Mm-hmm.
And when he plays other things, it's Steve Vai, clearly Steve Vai playing on something else, as opposed to Steve Vai putting his signature on that style. Jason was unique in a way that I would compare him to. If you're, and Caleb, you're probably the only real. I don't know, John Biel, are you a hockey fan? No, he can't hear us.
He's watching the video.
Caleb, you're a hockey fan, right, Caleb?
I'm a 40+ year hockey fan. Yes.
All right. Well, then you know the story of Normand Levier.
No.
Normand Levier was going to be Normand Levier was going to be the next Wayne Gretzky. He played for the Boston Bruins. He was a prodigy. He was going to be massive, and in between periods of a game, he suffered a cerebral hemorrhage, a stroke essentially, and that was it. In between periods in the locker room. It just happened.
I don't remember that.
He had it all taken away from him. John Biel.
The eruption mistake. That's cool that Ed actually talks about the eruption mistake. I just paused it for a sec, but
look at that! Look at that! You get a little dust.
No, I'm itching my eye. You know,
little dust.
Beautiful video. It's a great video, man. I can't tell you, man. That's really cool. I'm only halfway through. I'll watch a little bit. I'll watch the rest in a minute.
John, would you remember Normand Levier, right?
Normand Levier
played for the Bruins. Had the stroke between periods.
I recognize the name, yes.
Yeah. Would you compare Jason Becker to Normand Levier, a guy who was, you're not old enough to remember that. Yeah, he was a guy who had every skill and could have rewritten the book.
Oh, who was the young kid who, Boston College?
Travis Roy, who just passed.
Roy, yeah. I mean, cut short. So, talent cut short.
Who was that guy for the Boston Red Sox who was really good, had some couple of great seasons, and then was in a car accident or something happened to his career? I forgot.
Are you thinking of Jimmy Pearsall?
Yes.
That's an old story. Yeah, Jimmy Pearsall had a nervous breakdown. Yeah. He was a great. I mean, that's way back in the 40s and 50s.
Oh, I'm thinking the late 60s, but
yeah, it could have been late. I don't know what Pearsall probably played the 60s. Yeah, right around the same time as Ted Williams.
Here. We're losing Johnny. All right.
Yeah. let me just say one thing. Let me say one thing. Thank you to Jarhead Rock, latest channel member here on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
I saw the notifications while we were doing something else, and then they vanished. But Jarhead Rock, thank you so much.
But Jason is that.
Jason's awesome, man.
Yeah, Jason is, and it's amazing. Jason is capable of still creating amazing music, and we're thankful for it. I own everything he's put out, all that stuff, even the stuff that he's done since. It's all great. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Do you have his latest one? Do you have his album from a couple years ago?
Yeah, I have them all.
Triumphant Hearts.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys on that. I think Steve Vai is on that.
Yeah.
And a bunch of dudes. I heard a bunch of that at Jason's house before it was finished. They played some tracks, and the producer, what's his name? He was telling us, he's like, and it was just instrumental music. He's like, right here, this will be Steve Vai soloing. Right here will be so and so, because it was before it was done.
Yeah, I just saw Ed's little faux pas, and then he just goes right back to playing, and yeah, you could tell he was a little embarrassed, but that was cool. It was there was nothing wrong with that. It was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Eddie was more nervous playing in front of 5 people than playing in front of thousands.
He's so humble. My God,
he said in the video he loved. That's why being on stage is so amazing, because no one can fuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a tell. Like Eddie Van Halen has been fucked with, he was bullied as a child. He was a European in Southern California. he didn't know
his home life wasn't exactly the most stable.
Right. He didn't know the language, like so.
Right.
There's that famous Kramer interview where he's sitting next to Berardi, and he's obviously wasted, and he's saying just a bunch of things where he's saying stop the tape, like he's embarrassed of the things he's talking about because his no filter is in overdrive, and he's like making some kind of tasteful, distasteful jokes during the interview. But there's one moment in that interview where you see exactly who he is, and it's everything. And the interviewer asks him a question: "Did you take lessons?" And Eddie says, "No, nobody really took the time. No one really spent the time with me." And you could feel the pain of his whole childhood, like right there. Like nobody took the time, nobody spent the time with me. And the way he says it, it's like a window to his soul. Like you see it all right there. And he basically worked against that his whole young life to become what he was, despite that. And I don't know if you guys want to find that video. It's an embarrassing video for Eddie himself. It's something.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, it rears itself a couple of times in his adult life as well. You see it on stage a couple of times when Dave is trying to talk about how great Eddie Van Halen is, especially the Landover show. And then
guitar player of the year.
Yeah, and you can see Eddie is very, very sheepish about it. And in the Becker video, there's a couple of those moments where you see in his eyes, for lack of a better term, PTSD. There's the famous interview at the Hard Rock with Valerie in the 80s where he's clearly embarrassed and uncomfortable to be there. Yeah,
he does. He's like he's having a moment. Like Eddie, could be, bipolar. There's all these.
There's a PTSD is what I call it.
Yeah,
he's clearly damaged.
It's triggering.
There's some stuff, and you could see Valerie kind of trying to help it along and answer for him, and it's like he gets locked, and it's hard to watch.
I have a friend who is a bass player in the band Tesla. His name is Brian Wheat, and Brian just put out a book called Son of a Milkman. And Brian goes into this a little bit, and he gets into something that I don't think gets discussed very often, and that is sort of the social anxiety disorder, the depression, and the thing that comes with being a musician. There's a certain level of social disorder that every musician that becomes proficient at their instrument, because they're so isolated and they're so connected to their thing. Brian, if you've ever watched some interviews with Tesla, if you ever see video interviews with him, he does this. He's a rocker. He does this it's a nervous tick. And he deals with depression and anxiety, and he goes into it in his book. And I see that in Eddie in some of those interviews. You can see that sort of discomfort, almost like, again, to reference people on the spectrum that have this inability to socially function sometimes.
Well, you have to sacrifice a lot of your social being to become what Eddie Van Halen became. And
absolutely.
And you can't just be perfect, as a person and accomplish that. You have to give away a good part of your life. That's why he would always say, like, I never really had girlfriends because they had to compete with the guitar. And
his favorite place was just sitting in his bedroom playing guitar.
And he said the guitar was his girlfriend because the guitar was never going to fuck him over. And it's like a quote, he always said that. Like
BB King, he always said the same thing too. There are certain things about music. Those of us that have been in bands and those of us that do have sort of social disorders know that music is an escape, music is a friend, music is a comfort. And I think for a guy who comes to the United States of America in in what we would term today a dysfunctional household environment, with a brother who wasn't always nice to him, who doesn't speak the language very well, who's starting
a lot
from
of
scratch.
Al's frustrations were taken out on Ed. You know, I mean, it just
Oh, sure, yeah,
the brotherly thing. You know, I mean, not that I don't have a brother, but I, you know, obviously, you know.
No, but every family unit has a certain level of dysfunction. If you've ever seen the movie Parenthood, every one of them is presented in there at a certain level. And now combine that familial dysfunction with it being in a completely strange new world with no tools.
Right.
You know, with no money, with no skill set, with no understanding of the cultures and environment around you, the language, and no friends. All of those things conspired to create, you know, arguably the greatest rock guitar player we've ever known. So on the one hand, it's the yin and yang of life. On the one hand, he's blessed with this amazing talent, but at what cost? It's almost the movie The Princess Bride, where they're killing Wesley in it, and they say, every time I do this, it takes a certain amount of years off of your life. How much social development was stripped from Edward Van Halen in exchange for this gift?
Right.
And we see the same thing with Jason.
Socially awkward to begin with, you know.
And we see the same thing with Jason. Jason was given an amazing gift, and unfortunately, you know, there was a price there. And we all get it. Everybody has a card that they're dealt. Not everybody handles it with the grace and strength that a Jason Becker does, or Eddie Van Halen.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an amazing video. By the way, just for anybody that's interested in the Jason Becker catalog, you will not find this anywhere. Perpetual Burn is his first solo record. This is when he was just a kid. Mike Varney from Shrapnel Records took him and a kid named Marty Friedman, put out solo records from them, and they had a band called Cacophony, and I have those records too, but we're just focusing on Jason. That's Perpetual Burn. That is your standard Joe Satriani, Greg Howe, Tony McAlpine shredder record, but it's better than all of them because it's so fucking good. He's so talented. And then I think this is Perspective. And you can see that's a promo copy of Perspective. It goes way back. It's got the big stamp on it. I don't own this record. The record company does. And if they ask for it back, I'm supposed to give it to them.
Uh-oh. Hope they're not watching.
Yeah. I'm guessing the record company's probably not in existence anymore.
I think Eddie was supposed to be on that record.
He might be. I don't know.
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was gonna be. He was gonna record with Jason.
Then you got the Raspberry Jams, which is basically a lot of his 4-track stuff and early ideas that were never really flushed out. And this is when things started to change for Jason health-wise. That came out. And then this one is the Blackberry Jams, which is yet another one. And these are just great records. And most of this stuff was composed using the software that he and his father worked with. That they were developing and instrumental in developing. By the way, Jason Becker, that's a gift that he and his father working on, the way that he communicates with people through his eyes, and that sort of translation thing is something that now others who are dealing with ALS and others who are dealing with communication systems issues are utilizing, thanks to Jason and his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the latest one.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, Jason is an unqualified genius. He's genius on every level. He a guy that, you know, was given a finite period of existence, and he has eclipsed that tenfold. And he is stronger than any of us. He's fucking awesome.
Another thing, sorry to interrupt. Another thing that's
right.
interesting about that video today is it was shot within a week of the David Lee Roth MTV reunion.
Yeah. And you could hear some of the, I had mentioned this for those that don't know, some of the jams, and even Without You, there's some stuff from Without You on there.
Yep.
You know, which I think is fucking awesome. You know, and did you get the same impression I did, Caleb, that he was presenting that stuff to Jason to see if Jason would react to it and if he would approve of it? It was almost like he was running it past him.
Well, I think he was playing those things because he was proud of it, because it was the new stuff that he had at the time. You know, Me Wise Magic and Can't Get This Stuff Anymore was about to come out.
Right.
And
but Without You, that little the run in Without You that's there, I'm like, you think to yourself, oh my God, there's, you know, that's been a couple of years ago.
Yeah. yeah, it's almost like, when Dave came back and they did those 2 songs, and Dave probably listened to the rest of what Eddie had ready for Van Halen, what became, Van Halen 3. I think Dave may have said like he didn't like that stuff, and so they did what they did, and that's I mean, the thing at the awards show was probably an excuse, but I think Eddie already had been insulted by Dave when he was told like the rest of the stuff that was getting ready for if they were to reform, that Dave wasn't fond of.
Well, and it's funny that you say that, because
that's my opinion. I don't know that at all, but
it's funny you say that too, because the passage that he plays from Without You, the pre-bridge there right before the coming out of the solo, that's very proggy. It's not 4/4 time. It's got a real prog feel to it, and I don't believe Dave musically is capable of dealing with something like that. Dave would occasionally go into that and dip his toe into that water when he was working with John Lowry, John 5. But John 5 is another one of those guys. John is a lot like Jason in his skill set. Can play anything, but brings his own sort of feel to it. And I think it's that proggy weirdness that David Lee Roth is just incapable of processing and putting into to making it fit into his tool chest.
And it's also there's such a difference between, it's almost like there's 2 different Eddie Van Halens from 95 and 96. The 95 with the short buzz cut, sober, obviously. And then
heavier.
And then the 96, where he was probably back into something and unsure, of the future. You could feel his uncertainty, especially with the singer situation. Mm-hmm. But
it's almost, do you think that was after Mitch Malloy? Can you imagine what Mitch Malloy would have done with some of that music?
Was it after?
Yeah, Mitch was allegedly in during the time right at the MTV Music Awards.
No.
It was apparently at that point that Mitch was still involved. When they went out with Dave, wow. Mitch called and tapped out, and that's when they brought Gary in.
So it was a double a double fuck for Eddie, because he lost Mitch and he realized Dave couldn't come back.
Yep.
And they had to find somebody else.
It's my understanding that Mitch was the unannounced lead singer for the band when they did the MTV Music Awards thing. Right after the MTV Music Awards thing happened, Mitch called and tapped out.
So Dave almost claimed it for his own, in some ways. Dave kind of claimed it, and that's
well, if I was Mitch, I'd be insulted. If I was Mitch, I'd be insulted because.
And that's what he did. Mitch was like, "I can't. Yeah. What are you doing here?"
That was 96.
Yeah, he might have been the smartest guy to ever sing for Van Halen, because he knew that there's no way I'm gonna handle this.
It was only a couple of years after that, when I was living at Desmond Child's house. Desmond told me that he was the one that got Mitch in contact with Eddie.
Well, wow. I had a friend who has since passed. His name was Chris, who used to play basketball with Gary on a regular basis. And I was on the air at WAAF in Boston the night before Gary was flying out to 5150. Chris calls me on the air and says, "Hey, we can't tell anybody about this, but." And the funny thing about it was, I had Valerie's email address at the time, and at the time it was just VAVH at.
You still
whatever.
Have it?
No, but it was VAVH at whatever the server. I'm not going to say who the server was, but that was her email address, and I had emailed her to say, "Hey, I know we're not supposed to talk about this, but good luck to Gary," and all this shit like that, and shot it off to her from a private email address. And like a couple of weeks later, she was on with our morning guy at WAAF at the time, named Greg, and she brought up the fact that I had emailed her during the interview. She said, "There's only one guy in Boston that knew that this was happening. It was a guy that you work with." And it was because Chris had said, "Hey, Gary's going out there." And nobody believed me when I said it. And I think it's in the Van Halen encyclopedia. I think somebody referenced it, that it was leaked out of Boston. I'm like, didn't mean to. It was just trying to be nice. But Mitch was the guy before Gary.
like Neanderthal Gump.
Yeah.
Stephen Franklin, thank you so much, man.
It was a bad moment. You know, I have on occasion said and done things that I later regret. And that was one of them.
Well, what's interesting about the video is that it's part 1.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, I'll tell you what
Huh?
Do you know anything about that?
No comment.
Oh, there you go.
That's a yes.
There was a pro video. There was a pro news camera there as well. Did you notice that? There was a guy with.
Well, you know what that was for.
No, that was for the other thing.
That was for Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were also broadcasting live while they were doing that, or
look up Jerry Lewis telethon, Jason Becker, and you'll see the actual. I saw that on TV when it actually aired.
Yeah, it's not live. I think it was pre-taped, but they you know, Eddie went there to do that too. So obviously it was a package deal.
And John Biel.
He didn't just drop in on him. Like there was a you got the wave.
That video? The video with Eddie playing Jason's guitar?
Yes.
You saw Eddie playing his guitar, right? His PV? That's it right behind me right there.
Nice.
Dave,
what was Ed playing through on that? Was he playing through one of Jason's amps, or did Ed bring an amp for? Did he bring a PV for Jason or Jason? They were both PV endorsees, right?
Huh? Well, actually Dave Lopez. Where are you? He just disappeared. My buddy. Dave, jump back in. He can tell us
a practice amp.
He can tell us more about
this.
Sounds
like it's just a practice amp, like a little backstage or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think he gave him an amp too.
I love when
Dave, are you ready?
Eddie plays a bridge that pulls up, and he's like, I never play pull up bridge.
Yours pulls up.
Hey, man.
What's up, dude?
Hey, are you?
Welcome.
Is that an Amoeba T-shirt? Or Rasputin's?
It's a Rasputin sweatshirt.
I used to have that T-shirt, the Rasputin's one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Back in '79?
No.
What year was that? What's up, you guys?
Hello.
You see? Let me see if I can make it bigger because I can't see.
You're doing this on an iPhone, aren't you?
Yeah, man. I just
We're tiny.
I just put my baby to bed, so I had to, sneak out. So how you guys doing?
Oh, nobody's giving Dave shit about his mic popping.
Dave's new.
So everyone's mic is popping. And it sounds like shit. I'm like, I thought it was me, and I had to go back in and out.
Oh,
what's up? So I don't know.
Yeah, if you're hearing it, you'd have to jump out and jump back in again.
Nah, don't bother.
I did. Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, one more time.
Oh,
and Brian Spalding says, "Hey."
Taskmaster over there.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Dave Lopez. He's
Bye, Dave.
He's been longtime friends with Jason for years and years and years. That's how I know Jason, is through Dave, and we're longtime friends. All right, here he is.
Do you know where that might be in the Van Halen encyclopedia, Paul?
Let me go check.
I got it right here.
Somebody sounds. I just did it, and we still have that. Anyways,
Sounds
what up,
right.
you guys? So, what's the good word, man? Did you guys check out that video or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, man.
Dig it? Cool, man.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of the video? What moved you the most?
The whole thing.
The whole thing was pretty amazing. Eddie's discomfort in the whole thing when after he's finally been playing for a while and doing his thing, and he just takes the guitar, he goes, I can't do this. And he just puts it down and like he's had enough. He's overwhelmed by it. I think that's pretty cool.
Excellent. I've been holding on to that video for like 2 weeks. We've been trying to figure out when to release it. And, Jason's like, fuck, let's do it. So we did it. And it was good. It's, I was overthinking it too much, when to do it and all that. And he's just like, let's just do it. And sure enough, it's perfect. Everything worked out really good.
Yeah.
And it's the guy, we had a few people help put it together. Our friend Colleen did like a first rough of it, and then I sent it to my friend Chris Dugan, who works the Green Day. He's like the main Green Day guy. He does all their videos and he mixes their records. Me and him have been going, we've been friends for a while. And we never talk about my band Flipside or Green Day. We never talk about any of that bullshit. We talk about Van Halen and Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
His band, he was in the band in the 80s that played the last Cacophony show, because they were called Runaway. So whenever we see each other, he always asks about Jason, and he'd always be like, anything you need and this and that. We almost had him like make some of his music, and he's always offering his help. And this guy's a fucking pimp. That dude is badass. Like, he's so fucking good. So I'm like, hey man, since he's such a huge Van Halen fan, like, he sends me pictures of his guitars that he makes like Van Halen guitars, and the whole Green Day camp, all those guys are all crazy Van Halen fans. I don't know if you guys know. They're hella into Van Halen.
I remember talking to Billy Joe at Subway Guitars one time, and he knows what's up, man. Yeah.
And so same with Chris. So he's like, I have some notes, and this is what we should do. I'm like, why don't you just do it? So I asked Jason, and he put it together, and it's like the best. Everything on there is like, it's like, has a beginning, a middle, and a peak. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you have like, some of the footage of him talking about Eruption, who I've never heard him talk about the mess up. Have you guys heard him talk about where he messed up during Eruption?
I've heard other people talk about it, but I've never.
No, I've heard him. He said it in one of I don't know if it was Guitar or the interview with Billy Corgan. It might have been where he says, and I make a mistake at the top, and they left it in.
He said it, but you never seen video of him showing it.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right, I've never seen that before, and so you got to remember, I've seen the full video for a couple years. What's up, dude? So
hey,
Michael.
I've seen the whole thing, and I remember, I think I told Johnny about it. Dude, wait till you see this video that Jason just showed me, like 2-3 years ago.
We were at Jason's. We were at Jason's at one of his birthdays, and you and Jason were talking about how there was a video, and I was like, wow. Yeah, this is a couple years ago. Yeah.
So the thing is, that video, I always wonder why he didn't use any of it on his movie, the Not Dead Yet movie. And so Jason was like, no, I just don't like looking at myself back then. He was not comfortable with the way he looked, because he was, he a couple of weeks later, I believe, he got the surgery to get the trach for his neck and for his stomach, and be able, and then he got better. He got better after that. Like and then so I don't want to get into too much of what Ed did for him and things. I think we'll save that for like a story. Maybe we'll talk Matt Blackman to help put together a story. There's a lot of more stuff to that video that's not answered.
Well, it's interesting. Somebody brought up that it says that video is just part one, so we can only assume that you've got more that you're eventually going to let out.
Well, that is something we may be doing. That I knew that was kind of a mistake a little bit. We talked about maybe doing a second video, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to feel like we're milking it. You know what I mean? Like we want to respect Wolf and Van Halen. We reached out to them. We never got a answer back or nothing. So I believe Wolf said in an interview that if you have any footage of my dad, put it out there. So that we assume that's cool, right? So, no way ever do we want to disrespect and seem like we're trying to take advantage or milk anything, because that video is enough, right? So there was talk about maybe doing some part 2, and I was maybe talking about that, but it was just a talk between me and a friend, and it was never confirmed with Jason. We never even talked to Jason about it. It was just like, maybe we should do that. And what time passes by, and so she did that. I didn't catch it, and I think we fixed it. I don't think it's there anymore. But if there is going to be a part 2, it'll be something like this, like a StreamYard, where we actually we talk about, if you have questions, we could show some of the footage that that's missing that you guys haven't seen, but I don't know if Jason's really down to do something like that right now. If it happens, it'll be next year sometime, but we just want to just show that this is enough. I think that's enough for everyone. I mean, that's incredible. That's just so much to give, right? I mean, and so
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, if there's a part 2, yeah, but we'll see. Like what we said, don't hold your breath.
No, no, don't
misinterpret. Part 1 was awesome. Think of that.
Yeah, don't
right?
misinterpret what I was saying. Like, hey, we're begging for that, or telling you, you got your under sort of pressure.
I knew that was going to happen, because like I said, we were talking about it, and we're talking, and right now, I'm sure the more people ask, the more Jason's going to be down. But right now, we're just focused on this one. This is the important video, and it's a beautiful video, and like I said, he was very uncomfortable, and I was surprised why he didn't use it in the movie, and that's the reason why I didn't want to. He was very uncomfortable, but once Ed passed, things changed. Like all of a sudden he's like, "Well, this has to get out. People need to know."
Yeah, a lot of people who have those kinds of videos or those kinds of stories about Eddie, they would never tell them while Eddie was alive because you're in or you're out with the Van Halen camp, and nobody ever wants to be out. And if you take a liberty, for doing things or releasing something or telling a story that wasn't meant to be told, you're out. And there's been a lot of videos that have come along in the last couple of months that we would have never seen if he was still here. And, this was one of them, obviously. And I could see why Jason wouldn't want that video. It's very personal. There's nothing.
Honestly, it wasn't even about that. About what the feelings of it was mostly for Jason, because Jason didn't want to see himself. It had nothing to do with it, because he would have put it out in the movie. But the thing is, if you see the video, he's very weak. He didn't even use his letters yet that well, right? So it was mostly about Jason. He wasn't really thinking of like that, and
wow.
So it wasn't, and whereas like all these videos that come out, it's like very, he would say things, Eddie would say things about other things, like kind of, he was just being frank about something. I heard yesterday he was talking shit about Journey, right? And then things like that. And it's like, it shows like a different side, like, him talking shit. This is just love, you know what I mean? It's all edited to be about love and about how his humanity, his heart, and I think that's important, because I've noticed some, even Rolling Stone, or they always want to talk about his addictions, the Noel book where he talked about he was cheating on Valerie, right? He pulled a gun on Fred Durst. You know how the press is. They'll just talk negative things that really aren't really important, It's not about
it sells. So bad news sells, and that's what they want.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Jason about that, it was like, man, this would be really cool if we show the world, what kind of person he really was, man.
You asked earlier my favorite part of the video, and I had to actually sit and think about the whole thing again. My favorite part might be the part where Eddie makes it known that he wasn't aware of the original benefit show. And he says, well, how come you didn't ask me to do it? And Jason says, I didn't want you to play. He goes, well, you at least could have asked, like that. I thought that was a really human moment. That, and the other part where he's standing next to Jason in the middle of the room. And you can see this look of sheer disappointment that he never got a chance to sit there and trade licks with him, which is another great human moment of Eddie, where Caleb and I were talking about Ed's sort of discomfort. There's that moment where he had just finished hugging him and kissing him on the forehead, and then he goes back and he's like, I can't believe we didn't play. I can't believe we didn't play together. And Jason says, we'll jam together someday. Yeah. And Eddie goes, yeah. And it was like, I mean, that's that moment where you go, shit, something in my eye over here. Bad air.
Yeah, Dave, there's lots of people, especially in the last few months, who've shared what, you know, aside from, you know, his musical, what he's given us. Eddie Van Halen was what he's given us musically, but he was just really a good person, and he just happened to be the greatest. You know, like it's almost not. It's surprising. People are surprised when they meet Eddie Van Halen that they can't believe that's the rock star, you know, because he is everything but that in person. There's nothing big time.
Pretense.
Yeah, there's nothing big time about him when you meet him face to face, and you know, and he always makes it a point to look you right in the eye and make it about you. And I don't know where he learned to do that, or if he knew that he was doing it.
That was him.
But that was just him. You can't fake that. And you know, he did that to me when I was 13, and it changed my life forever. And you know, so to see that video, and it's probably as close as anyone's going to get, the viewer, to a behind the scenes, you know, not, you know, like I'm almost surprised he didn't look at the camera and go, what's that for? You know, he always looks at a camera and says, what's that for?
I'll tell you something.
You know,
the reason why that video is so amazing is that it shows a human being, right? Number one, just a regular guy. He's just coming in. And so when you see Jason and you see him like that, you know, you're not thinking about the camera. You're not thinking about anything else but I'm standing with this guy, and he just, you know, it's like a very emotional thing for him. And you know, from what I heard, he had to walk outside a little bit, and he had to get his composure. It wasn't that, you know, so we only put the parts that are like, you know, like that, like the best parts of the video of that day, you know. All the other stuff we haven't, you know, and I'm sure, you know, if it's okay with Jason, you know, it's up to Jason if he wants to do something. But like I said, we don't want to talk about that till we have the video together. But anyway, one of the reasons why the video is so badass is Uncle Ron, Jason's uncle. He's the quietest motherfucker I know, right? He's the guy that he doesn't say a word. His personality is like, don't talk to me. He's very, but he films. He's been filming Jason since he was a little kid, right? To all the talent shows. He's not dead yet. All that footage is Uncle Ron, right? If I was there filming, I would have been, hey, Eddie, why don't you play Mean Street? Hey, Eddie, I would have been, you know, I can't shut the fuck up. Uncle Ron is the kind of guy, he's like Johnny Beane. Johnny Beane is the most, like, just kind of like, you can play poker. You don't fucking, there's no emotion. He's just kind of like, oh, how's it going? Hey, I'm having a blast. You know what I mean? Like, the little laughs. See what I'm saying? That's the only emotion you get from Johnny Beane.
He's animatronic. He's not real.
Yeah. So he could be somewhere, and he's like, all the, you know, there's no, like, you could feel if Eddie was in the room, you could feel our energy, like, oh shit, right? Uncle Ron is in the Bob Dylan. He loves Eddie, but he don't give a fuck about Eddie like we give a fuck about Eddie. You know what I mean? He's more my nephew, right? So he's like a fly on the wall, bro. He could be, it's like the best person to film this fucking thing is Uncle Ron, because he doesn't say shit. He's like, right. So Eddie's not thinking about the camera because Uncle Ron, he's not making he's just being Uncle Ron. He films everything, every birthday, everything. He's always been filming his whole life, you know. So the reason why that video is fresh, you got to remember, you got to give Uncle Ron credit. And that movie is because Uncle Ron, if you meet Uncle Ron, and Johnny, you met Uncle Ron, he's like the most mellowest, chillest dude in the world. And he's documented his life. And so he wasn't in the way, and he wasn't trying to talk. He just, you know, he has that energy. He just don't even know. He's just so amazing, that guy. So I think that that Eddie felt that energy, and he was so focused on Jason and being there and doing something for Jason that he was just a normal guy. He's in a fucking living room, bro. Like a little living, like it's a small, I don't know if you notice, it's a small little living room. It's not a big living room. It's like, and you know, Eddie grew up in a house like that. He grew up not in a big house, you know, he's a humble dude. He grew up, he's an immigrant, you know, he went through a lot of stuff. And so that's what he's grounded because of the way he was growing up. You know, he saw a lot, he had raised a certain way. So That's what makes him so beautiful, is that he could be with, probably could relate to a fucking homeless guy and be like the coolest guy, just, hey, how's it going, because he's just that kind of guy. So you actually, there's not acting. He's not, okay, now I got to be the rock star. I got to, pretend, or I got to whatever. He's just a guy on the couch meeting a guy. And Uncle Ron is just chill as could be. And he captured this moment. And there's so many things that are in this video that are just like, when he talks about the music going through him, right? That part, that fucked me up. I'm like, God damn, like, it's not me. He told him, you're the greatest, right? And he's like, it's not me. It comes through me. Come on, man. That shit is just like, and that's basically how it is. And that's what he is. He's like an antenna. He has he's got the best signal to the higher power because he plays and he works on it and whatever. So it's like, that's what makes it really like he's a human, and, not to diss on guys like EVH and those kind of dudes, you know what I mean? Which is, I used to love all that stuff, but it's a different thing. Jason's very much like Jason. I mean, like Eddie. They're very much the same way. When I used to hang out with them, take lessons, and hang out with as a kid, I'd kick it with him. He was just so chill and so fucking cool and killing me on the. He'd just be playing a yo-yo, whatever, and he was just like, okay. And when we drive, he was the worst driver, by the way. He drove horribly, and he would be playing Mozart, like rocking the Mozart and shit. And so it's like he was a very normal, and because of his upbringing, he went to school in the hood. I remember hearing he got punched in the face in the hood, like at Berkeley High School. Like he grew up a lot like Ed, He was like, picked on or whatever. It's like there's something about that way of being raised is what makes you you're open to everything. You're just very, very, your feet are on the ground, and I think that's what makes this video, you really get to see it, because I've heard stories about how amazing Ed is, or was, right? I would hear about these things. Oh, what an incredible guy, this and that. But to actually see it, and to actually, the Eruption, how he played Eruption, right? For instance, how, just so many fucking things in that video. The thing that kills me the most in the video, personally, is when his music kicks in. When Jason's music at the end, from his album Triumph of Hearts, Magic Woman, I believe is the song. When that kicks in, and he's signing the guitar, right? And that music, it's just like, oh my God. It's like, it takes you to like a peak. Like you're going, oh my God, this is like, and then he tells him thank you. Or he takes a picture with him and he starts balling up and he's just trying to hold it, trying to not cry or whatever. And with the music, with that going on, I can't watch it. I cry every fucking time. Because that song means so much to me. That Jason is such a big thing for me. And then seeing Eddie and that song, and then at the end, those words that Jason talks about, how we need this right now. And it's incredible, man. So I've been dying to fucking show this to Justin. So I showed Johnny Beane this video on my phone. Like, I'm like, Johnny, I'm not going to give it to you, but so I let him watch it. I don't know if he told you, I hope he didn't tell you guys, but don't say nothing, Johnny Beane.
No, but I saw it. You showed it to me a couple weeks ago.
I showed you like one version of it, the long version. That was it, because it's like an hour's worth of footage. Not all of it is that fresh, It's a lot of, it's not, So Jason had no to condense it, and our friend Colleen, she condensed it to like 20 minutes, and it was killer. Like, you guys will love it, because there's a lot of stuff that that's like super like for nerdy guys. Guys are like, oh my God, it's incredible, right? My wife tried to watch that video and she couldn't sit through. She's like, what is this shit? I thought he was supposed to be badass. You know what I mean?
Same here.
Hey, right? Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, thank you. No, thank you for the video. Thank you for the video. Thanks for putting that together. And please pass our best to Jason and thank him for us, because that's a piece that, to me, of all the things that have come out since the passing of Eddie Van Halen, that to me is the most touching and real and personal, and something that I think that guys like us, that's a different level. I mean, obviously the public is going to have a certain reaction to it, but those of us that have passion for both Jason and Eddie, to me, I don't know that it could have gotten any better. So,
yes,
so whoever
it's up
the
there.
editing and stuff. Yeah.
It's up there with Wolfgang's, clips from his video.
Oh my God, yeah. It's so personal. It is so personal. That means so much. It really does.
So thanks. If nobody has done that, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, right on. I can't take credit for it. I'm just one of the part of the team of guys that are there's a guy, our friend Steven Correa. You guys know Steven and Colleen, and then our buddy, and then Chris Dugan. We had to. It was like, this big piece, this long hour thing, and we condensed into 20 minutes, and then we took it and made it to what it is now. So it was like it was steps, and so I can't take that much credit for it because without everybody's help, it wouldn't be what it is. And one thing I did is to make sure that someone like Dugan could edit it and make it more of an emotional, more of a heart thing. And so we do have another video. It's just a matter of if Jason's cool with it. That's going to have more of the outtakes, more of the stuff that's more, stuff that Johnny Bean's going to be like, oh, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
At least you knew which one of us was going to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there is that. We just have to fix it, edit, but it's all up to Jason. We like I said, I just don't want to. I'm really careful because we don't want to. Wolfie, man, he's got, I think people are taking advantage of Ed, and it's fucked up, whether it's a CBD fucking oil, whether it's some guy trying to make money off his guitars or whatever the fuck it is. It's always like that. That's just human nature. People are gonna be assholes, So we don't want to disrespect it because he did a lot more than just, he's helped him through the years. Like when Jason did the ice bucket challenge, and he hit up, he talked about John Mayer and Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth. He wanted them to do the ice bucket, challenge them, right? John Mayer made a video. I don't know if you guys saw the John Mayer bucket challenge that Jason, challenged him. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Eddie sent. You can either make a video or send money. Well, Eddie sent him money. And Dave didn't hear nothing from that fucking guy, right? And he sent the donation to the ALS research or some bullshit. Didn't get to Jason, but you know what I mean? It wasn't like Eddie made sure that he hit up Jason and go, here you go. I can't make the video. Obviously, he was going through whatever he was going through at the time, but he still was there for him, He was still, and he didn't talk about it. He didn't say nothing. And another thing he did towards the end of his life, there was a guitar. I don't know if you guys remember. There was like a Triumphant Heart guitar that that we had. Our friend Steven. Again, Steven is a big part of this, and Colleen and so they made a Jason Becker guitar. It had all a bunch of people sign it. Everybody from Uli Don Roth, Richie Kotzen, Steve Vai, just the numerous. And then Steven got a hold of Ed, and Ed signed it. Right? I don't know if you know about this, but there's a picture of Ed, and you could only barely see his face because no one knew what he looked like at the time. People were wondering about his health. So he made sure that even though he was struggling or dealing with his health, he was able to make time for Jason because that money was spent being used for a generator. In California, we have these blackouts because of the wildfires and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So we had to, Jason has to be plugged into electricity for his musician to work. Mm-hmm. So he, we got this, we got this money thanks to Ed. The guitar sold for more than we wanted it to sell. Like we were hoping for like $20,000, got like $30,000. And our friend, Rob, who was on, I don't know if he was on the show as well with Johnny. He bought this guitar.
Yeah, he was on. He was on with us. Yeah,
that guitar is a priceless guitar. You think about it now. That was one of the last things he did, I believe. Eddie signed his guitar for that, to help Jason live. Mm-hmm. And those things. I mean, that was like last year sometime. So this thing is, his connection to Jason is huge, and fuck, man, it just, we're all shocked by his death, man. I think we're still not really over it, or we're still dealing with it. I mean, it's like losing because we're so close to his music, you know. And so this is like a thing where it's like the first time my buddy told me this is the first time he's ever read Blabbermouth and no one's talking shit, right? You got everybody fighting amongst each other, rock dudes, metal dudes that are political, they're bringing all the bullshit to the comment section. And this video bringing people together. There's no, you can't say dick about nothing, you know what I mean? So that's the power of Eddie, you know, that's the power of this video of Jason, is that, you know, there's not infighting, people bringing up fucking Trump or whatever to Biden, who, you know, it's like, you know, it's like all of a sudden all that shit doesn't matter. It's the humanity and the compassion, the love that this guy brought to us. And so, you know, it's very, and I told Jason we got to do this as a gift, like a Christmas gift or like a holiday gift for people, because we're all struggling. There's so many people that are struggling right now with COVID and so many things going on. This video is very helpful. It's really making people like think about, you know, life and love and you know, and you know, it's your fucking hero being the hero that we all love, you know, not the guitar hero, but the human hero. That's why his music's so special, right? That's why he's so good. It's, you know, he was a beautiful guy. Man.
As you sit here and talk about Eddie Van Halen in the ways that you have, and all of these sort of human things and bass things, and him being a regular guy and being a hero, all of which ignores the fact that Jason is an inspiration and a hero and somebody that brings that positivity and inspiration to all of us when he doesn't need to. He's certainly got more pressing issues, and yet it speaks to his character that he's like, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like that's a focus in his world. Like Jason has so much other shit that he could be focused on. And yet this is what he's like, yeah, go make this happen, which I think is, you know, again, the unspoken nature. When you talk about the parallels between Eddie Van Halen and Jason Becker, I don't know Jason. I'm a massive fan, but I don't know him. But the beautiful thing about it is most of us didn't know Eddie either, but we all felt like we do. And I think with Jason doing something like this, it just brings him that much closer to people who've never met him, but love him because of that. I mean, that's the impression I get from it.
I agree, and that's what it is. You know, he is everything. He's my biggest fucking hero. You know, one of my closest friends, and you know, you're exactly right. Let's not forget how important it is that we salute to Jason, because without his approval, without his heart, we wouldn't have this video. You know, and you're right. Everything you're saying is right, and that's what makes it so crazy that you have these two giants, you know, these two beautiful people meeting, and yeah, man, it's you're right. I'll give props to Jason.
Yeah.
If you don't, he'll whoop your ass.
I know he does all the time. He sends bodyguards with my ass. No, but yeah, you're right, man. Let's not forget that, you know. And the cool thing. What's going to make me really happy is there's a lot of people that don't know Jason, right? There's a lot of people that don't know him and don't know the story, so this is going to turn on a whole other bunch of fans. Like, who's this guy? And, you know, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't know him, you know, don't know his story, which is fucking whack. He released one of the greatest records, and his label sucks cock, dude. They're horrible, and we didn't even get that should have been Grammy nominated. Those are the things that, you know, I've always been trying to push for Jason to get his love now. You know, he should be honored and loved now. And yeah, fuck, man. He's here now, and we should all, you know, send him love and be lucky enough to know that we're living in a time where Jason's here. You know, just like we did with Eddie. We were lucky enough to have seen him live. For homie right there, he saw him when he was 13. Got to, you know what I mean? We were lucky enough to live in a time where fucking Van Halen was part of our lives. We were there when those records came out. I remember the first time I got Fair Warning. It's like, oh my God, what the beat? When that was the new shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like we're blessed that we lived through that, and we're blessed to be able to say we're living through, you know, these geniuses' time. You know, I wasn't around when the Beatles were putting out records. You know what I mean? When Hendrix was around, you know, and I see a bunch of old motherfuckers like, you don't even know what it's like when, you know. what it was like back then when Hendrix had a new record or Beatles, and I'm like, I don't, because I'm not as old as you motherfuckers. So now we are. This is our guys, you know. So you know, I'm, you know, obviously we're all sad, we're all bummed. Man, how lucky are we that we got, like, I got to see him live, you know. I got to see. I felt his energy, his music go through me, and it's like, so it's like we're blessed, man. We're fucking happy, and I can't wait to hear Wolfie live. I can't wait to go support that fucking guy. You know what I mean? You know, it's like how amazing that dude is so fucking good, man. I heard one of the not the song that makes everyone cry, but the one where he's just ripping and it's a heavier song. His guitar solo, I'm like,
a little more of a Tool feel to it. It's good.
Fuck, and the guitar solo, it's like, man, here we go. Here's part, man. Halen.
He's gonna be a force. He's gonna be a force. No two ways about it, man.
Yeah, and he can play anything, everything, you know. So yeah, dude, we're you know, it's sad that we don't have Ed, but fuck, we still have his we still have him, you know. We still have that family that, you know, it's still here. So yeah, man, you know, there's a lot to look forward to, and yeah, man, I'm happy you guys are. I couldn't wait to come back. I can't wait to these guys here to see this video. Like I'm gonna, you know, because like I've been holding on, like I've been working on it with everybody. We've been, you know, meeting and talking about how we're gonna do it for a couple weeks, and watching the video. And then my buddy Dugan, I'm like, bro, you're killing me. When the music kicks in, I cry every time. He goes, dude, do you have any idea how hard it was to edit that shit over and over again? Right? Watching, putting it together, he was like, I was crying and just couldn't, because, you know, it's so. I'm really happy that everyone loves it. I was so like, man, I've just been anxious, you know. Fuck, how, you know, what's it gonna be like? And the response has been incredible. And you know, let's keep it moving, man. Let's get the story out. Let's show how amazing these two guys are, you know. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's weird. I hate that you mentioned that Jason's label sucks, because I want people to go and buy his record.
Not buy the record. I'm talking about the way they promoted the record.
Right.
Just, you know, when these kind of, like, I was on I was on Interscope for like 5 years. So I dealt with major label bullshit, right? And I've been through that scene. And you know, this is a smaller label, and they basically have a small budget, and they do the same thing to everybody. Everybody gets the same, whether it's whoever the fuck. I don't even know what the label is. That's how lame they are. I can't remember their name. So everyone gets, you know, where it's like, no, dude, you have to take this project more. This is like a different thing. This is a timeless record, and how much work was put into it, and how much energy. You know, so it's like you got the greatest guitar players in the world playing on this as well. So it's like the fact that they didn't respect that, and they didn't really get marketing people. Like we didn't get a lot of. We got the same. Well, we're on Guitar Player magazine, the Guitar World, or you know, same guitar players stuff. And this music's classical music. It should have been pushed to a different audience, because we already have the fans that listen to guitars, you know. And this record has more to offer. And so I think they missed out on it. And I hate to talk shit, but I'll talk shit, because fuck that. It really. And I'm like, we pushed to get a Grammy nomination. We worked real hard to get there, and we didn't even get that. So it's like, come on, you guys. This is like one of the greatest, you know, composers and writers of our time, and they lost. They just don't respect it. And so hopefully, you know, there's a lot of other things that I can't really talk about Jason, about things that are hopefully coming, and hopefully that people recognize, because, you know, he has to get love now. He needs to know how much people mean to him, you know, because he does, you know, he knows, but he doesn't know. And it's like, you know, most people go, man, I love the way you play Petrol Burn and all the shred, which is amazing. We all love that. But he's so much more than that, dude. He's on some other, he's a genius, man. His classical music is just fucking crazy. And so, you know, there's more to him, to his story than the shred, you know.
His musical mind. It's his musical mind, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Just like Eddie's more than just a Russian. You know what I mean? There's more than
there's
more than that.
One of the best shredders, yeah. How about Eddie's rhythm? I mean, he dig into this. Are you kidding me? You know, he was Unbelievable. Same thing
And how
like
about
with
his
Jake.
jumps, dude? How about his jumps when he would jump and shit and he'd smile, you know, his stage presence.
So
It's just-
effortlessly. Gosh.
Yeah, so there's a lot,
Jumps.
you know. But yeah, dude. Yeah, man. What's up with that? That's a badass. Is that Van Halen from the first album? No, that's Van Halen 1, or is that 2, where he's holding the guitar in fire?
This?
behind
Oh
it?
yeah. I don't know if that's the actual album photo or if it's the an alternate, or I don't know. I just found that.
But
But
what
it's-
is? How do you have that lit up? What the fuck? Well,
It's
that is
fucking
so-
badass.
I don't know what's on the original album cover. Isn't it's kind of got some kind of a flame design.
That's
doesn't
his screensaver on his computer.
Yeah, but that's
Oh, okay. I thought that was like
I think
okay.
that's for the song "On Fire" on the first album.
That's killer, bro. I had to give you props. Look at that.
Oh, look at that!
Look at
The
that.
guitar too.
Light it on
Wow,
fire.
I can't tell which one is which.
Light it on fire, John.
A stunning resemblance.
Bro,
Right?
you look just like him. If you had that hair, you'd be just like him. You couldn't tell the difference.
How are your pecs?
I wish.
You can tell someone's from LA.
What you got there? What are you pulling out? Uh-oh. What's that guitar right there you have in your hand? Nerd Halen. Is that the same? Are you the Nerd Halen? That's the Nerd Halen. That's the.
Oh, it's
that's
the
your
Nerd
band.
Oh, that's the Nerd Halen.
Yeah.
That's the nerd.
Yeah, that's Nerd Halen.
Dude, I love
Nerd
it. What's up, bro?
What's up, Dave?
Amazing. I love it. I love it. That's a badass guitar. Okay, play Eruption. Come on. Come on now.
We can't
Mess up on that one part.
mess up that one part at the top.
Flag.
Yep, now we're done. Flagged. The last hour and 38 minutes was all for
You know-
nothing.
You know, I've been trying to get Johnny Beane to play that. I'm like, play Eruption. He's on, no, I'm not going to play that shit. So thank you. You got big bulls.
You got a big
What you got there? What you
Another
got
one.
there?
That's another one.
Everybody breaks them out.
What's another one?
They've
That's all.
those are the official EVHs,
Oh.
the Stripe Series Frankensteins.
Yeah, I have 182, and the captain has 213.
Who's got 5150 though?
Oh, we don't know.
Probably Wolfie.
They haven't made it yet.
Yeah, right.
He's
I
gonna.
I have unofficial 5150.
Oh my God, you guys ain't fucking around. Holy
Oh,
shit.
Johnny, grab your stripe.
Nah,
All
this
right.
is.
I'm happy
He's-
to be
you play
able
Eruption.
to have a stripe that I can show
Who else is
now.
playing Eruption? Someone's got to play Eruption, goddammit. You can't give out to Nerd Halen.
Eddie. Go ahead, nerd.
Oh, whatever. Okay.
Oh, I love it. You sound great. Even without an amp, you're fucking ripping.
Here, we'll go full on Van Halen nerddom.
Oh, that's in the next room.
That's all-
goddamn.
That's the other room.
Oh,
God
there's my black
damn
one.
it.
There's my black one.
Amazing.
Is Paul? Is that your room?
Oh yeah,
Where is that?
that's another
That
room.
I didn't know you had a black and white stripe.
Oh, yeah, I've got all the Stripe series,
Nice.
not the Stripe series, the
art
the,
series.
78.
the art series. I have the Charvel art series, all three of them.
I still
Michael,
have
that's nice.
this.
Where'd you get that? I haven't seen that before, have I? Maybe
Oh,
I have.
I had it in the background for a while.
Oh, wow. That's
great.
amazing.
Made
You
a
should wear
medal.
that as a, you
Shit
should
is
do
bad.
it. Put a chain like Flavor Flav, just walking around. and be
Yeah,
like,
just
"What's
walk
up,
around with that
bitch?"
around your like
Yeah,
a clock.
man, that's right. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, what's up, bitch? I got me a fucking. You know, I feel like I always have a guitar, but that shit's downstairs. I will show you. I have a Jason Becker's actual PV numbers guitar. His original
cool.
one of his numbers.
Oh, awesome.
But that shit's downstairs. I can't be going downstairs right now. My kids will wake up and that fucking party time's over. You know? Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. Where did Johnny Beane go? Is he learning
He probably
Russian?
Let Ned
Getting
in.
his. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. This is cool. I love this. Yeah, Nerd Halen's dope, dude. I love that shit.
Thank you.
Fresh.
Thank you. Can't wait to get back out.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be in India this month. with my band, and we can't. You know, we had to cancel that shit. So we're going next year, and yeah, fucking COVID, whatever.
Fucking COVID shit, man.
Now, if we weren't flagged before, we are now.
For what? What'd you guys do?
You can't say COVID. apparently, it sets off like an algorithm or some bullshit for YouTube's misinformation.
You can't say it 3 times.
Well, we're just saying that COVID fucks shit up. I mean, that's not misinformation.
Oh man, what a crazy world we're living in. Well, Johnny Beane, though, he's so full of shit. He just totally left, and he put a picture.
No, he's probably going to find a guitar that none of us have.
Yeah, show off.
Oh, the Ripley. You know, when I first
he'll go to grab the Ripley.
Beane, yeah. When I first met Johnny Beane back in the '90s, I went to his house, and I'm like, I could not believe he had that guitar. I'm like, how the fuck did you get this guitar? Like in the '90s, there was no eBay, there was none of that. You know, and I was like, wow. And he was such a dork. He had every fucking bootleg. I was like, I'm like, oh
yeah.
But then,
nothing changed.
Because then
John BL, joke sniper.
Yeah, and I was so like, wow, Johnny Beane has Van Halen shit down, and I was just so happy to know him. So but that Ripley. That's a bad. Anyone else? I've never seen anyone own a Ripley. I've never seen any of those guitars.
There's one for sale here in Phoenix every once in a while. There's a guy who puts it up on OfferUp just to get people to fucking drool, and then he never sells it.
Is Johnny's even working though? Does he have his up and running? I know he has the Ripley, but has he got all the electronics working on it? Johnny?
Probably not.
David, Wayno A.
You gotta get that thing up and running, man.
Wayno A is asking, who do you play with? So give a little background to everybody out there that don't know who you are.
So I'm in a band called Flipside, and it's FLIPSYDE, and it's a combination. It's like a hip hop with guitar solos with a singer. It's like a fusion of these styles, and we were signed in like 2005, and we toured like with the Black Eyed Peas and Snoop, and we had a song that was a theme song for the Olympics. We got to play like Jay Leno and Conan, and we were really we very. I mean, Europe mostly. We did a lot of touring over there. So we have like an underground scene here, but India, we're like we have a gold record in India, and so we're just now getting back into it. And I usually don't really talk about that when I'm with Jason World, and I don't because it's a whole different world, But thanks for asking. If you have a moment to go and check it out, I think it's a cool. I'm a hip hop guy, and I'm a rock guy, and I'm a Latin guy. So it's a combination of all those styles, and it's done really well. Which is funny. Now you hear people like Post Malone and all that stuff. We did that shit 15 years ago. So
that's the first thing I thought when I heard Prophets of Rage.
Yeah, that whole scene, like but it's not heavy. It's not enough.
Right.
It's not distorted. It's more like there's like flamenco style guitars. There's like more of a blues, and every song has a guitar solo, and it's not like effects or nothing. They're so. And my thing was always one thing Jason always said is just do your own. Like I couldn't play like that. When I see you guys play with your whammy bars, the Floyd Roses, and all that stuff, I can't do any of that shit. I don't know. I play horribly like that. I just can play the way I do. And I wish I could do that, but I can't. So I focus on, what I could do. And that's what Jason always taught me. Like, just do what you do. I remember taking music classes as a kid and going to Jason's to take lessons. And this guy's like, you got to learn jazz. And I'm like, oh, and I couldn't do it. And then Jason's like, do you even like jazz? I'm like, no. Then what the fuck are you learning jazz? That's the kind of shit. Right? Because the teacher wanted me to expand. He said, why? Just do what you like. Play what you just do what you do. Do what you love to do, So, and Flipside was always, I was always in rock bands and stuff. And Flipside was more of something that was like a dream of mine to be able to get a serious MC that has amazing. We don't sing about bitches, hoes, and money because we don't got bitches, hoes, or money. So we sing about real, very social things. We sing about real. I mean, it's a pretty trip when we have our fans are really into our music and they're really in. It's very positive stuff. But anyways, that's one thing I learned from Jason is to just do what you do. Do who you are and stuff. And Yeah.
Dave, and since I'm friends with Dave, his fans come after me as well. You know?
Well, how can they not, dude? They flip you, Johnny.
I get all these people from India requesting me on Facebook. You know?
Yeah.
All the time.
It's comedy. It's comedy. But we're working on that. I'm working on the India stuff. And, you know, it's gonna be. It's cool. I check it out. I think we have a new record that just came out this week called Prophecy, and it's really. I'm really proud of that record. And there's cool guitar stuff. You know, it's no Jason Becker, but it's more. You know, it's I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You played the Jason Becker guitar though in that video for the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a guitar that Jason gave him. One of the numbers guitars. Another one.
Yeah, you know, I have. So this is another thing that's crazy. Jason received 3 carbon guitars. You know, bluey, and there's a purple guitar, and there was also a green guitar that no one knows about. But they gave him 3 guitars. Jason gave me the 3rd guitar. He goes, "Yeah, I don't really like this one. You can have this one, right? He gave me the shitty one." And then the numbers guitars, they made 3 PV numbers guitars. He's the first 2, and then 3rd one was the one. This is the shitty one. You can have the shitty one. So I got 2 shitty Jason Becker guitars, which they're not shitty to me, but to everyone else, you know, to him, those weren't his favorite ones, but those are my favorite ones. So I own 2 of those, and those are like my, you know, they're my babies. You know, even though I can't play them, you know, I don't play them because I can't play with a whammy. Yeah, I just suck at that shit. So maybe one day I'll learn or I'll try to play. Be the cool like nerd Halen over here.
I remember way back in the day. You know, I remember at Soundwave, you were closing up. I was like rehearsing with a band at the time. This was back, what, in the 90s?
You were in that Village People tribute band. I remember. Yes.
Okay, which one were you, Johnny?
I was the Indian, obviously.
It was the Indian, clearly.
There you go. There you go.
But I remember you were closing up, and you showed me that guitar, the Jason Becker guitar, like when you first got it. You know,
it's a trip because I've known him since I was 15 years old. You know, I've been close to him for long. Like I remember watching him play guitar in his room, dude. It was insane. It was crazy. Being from Richmond, where we're from, and having this dude, like my dad used to go, "You're never gonna make music. You're never gonna have a career in music. Only 1 in a million make it." And I go, "Well, my friend up the hill fucking made it. He's Jason Becker." And my dad would get more mad. And so Jason was always just, he would always be like, "Dude, just play, man. Don't worry about it. Just do music, you know." And that's in that video where Eddie says, "Just play music, man. I'll come get you." That video.
I love that. That snippet is so fucking awesome. God.
Exactly, and that's the thing. That's what you got to keep doing is being creative and do music, and you know.
Otherwise, I'm gonna go get you. Oh God, that is so good.
Are you wearing a Jason Becker shirt, Johnny Beane?
Yeah.
You big old fanboy.
Yeah, it was. I bought this. I bought this from your wife at the Slim Show.
That's some.
She was at the merch. She was at the merch table at the Slim Show that ended up in the movie. That's where I got this.
Oh, Johnny, you're so cool. Don't forget, go to jasonbecker.com. You can get all the new merch, all the badass stuff. You know,
oh yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's important too. You know, he needs it. You know, he needs it.
Yeah, man. Dude, where are you? Do you have an accent? Where are you from? Are you in Canada, eh? Where are you?
No, he's not that guy.
No, I'm not. No.
No, that guy's Home Alone now. No, he's got he's hanging out with all his friends.
Oh my goodness.
I'm from the Bronx.
Hey, the fucking Bronx over here.
It's funny how people from other parts of the country rip on other people from other parts of the country's accents. So fucking funny.
I wish I had a cool Bronx accent. God damn it, my shit sucks. I'm like,
it's funny because Wayno, who's in the chat, he's from Boston, and he was saying that Dave sounds exactly like everybody from California that we do impressions of in New England. Like the accent thing, it's like everybody, you know.
I know, dude. I know. You know, it's funny. I'm Chilean. I was born in Chile. I came here when I was 7, and I used to have the coolest fucking loud accent when I was a kid. I wish I still had that shit. I'd sound like Antonio Banderas, but I don't. Now I sound like, hey, dude. It sucks. I wish I had a cool accent, and I don't. And I say hella. I say all the lame California
Dope
shit,
and
but,
down.
From the Bronx. I've been living out in Colorado now for 10 years, and I still every time I open my mouth up, they know I'm fucking from not here. So there's that.
So you're not in the Bronx anymore. You know, Skolnick's in the Bronx, right, Johnny? Isn't he in the Bronx?
I don't know.
God damn it, Johnny.
Dynamite drop in, Johnny.
Yeah. Maybe. Alex is in the Bronx now. He lives, which is a trip, because he's from.
Don't you really?
Yeah.
Where in the Bronx? Now I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
I don't know.
right.
I've never been to see him over there. But yeah, he's a Bronx guy now. You know.
Cool motherfucker.
My singer from my band Flipside lives in Colorado, in Denver. So
In Denver, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Broomfield, which is about like 15 minutes northwest of Denver.
North.
Okay, that's amazing.
North.
Northwest.
Where's
Hey,
everybody
Clayton.
else? Where's everyone else at?
It is Straturday. I just want to say hi, Clayton.
Hello, Clayton.
Hey, Clayton.
Clayton, good to see you tonight, man.
John Biel, where are you at?
I'm just north of Boston, place called Haverhill, Massachusetts. Haverhill,
Nice.
Haverhill.
And I'm
Halen
in
Hill.
Santa Monica, California.
Hey, fucking Santa Monica. And Neanderthal, where's he from? Where's he at right now? He's in the bathroom right now.
Arizona.
He's in,
I'm taking a shit right now.
He's in Phoenix, or he's outside Phoenix, I think.
Yeah, he's in Arizona.
Chandler.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm in Richmond.
I'm in Santa Cruz.
No, you're not, Johnny. You're in San Quentin right now. You're fucking God.
Broadcasting live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fake background. There's actually bars behind him.
Yeah.
It's all green screen.
Billy did the
Yeah,
2 hours
everybody in
in
the
and-
chat.
Green screen. There's a guard walking back and forth right now. Like that.
Right? That would be hilarious. That's a cell.
Look, me and
Yeah.
Johnny got the same hat on, sort of, huh? Look, we're so cute.
Yep.
Look at me and Johnny B. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
And for those that are new here, yeah, Dave Lopez and I, we go way back to what we met.
1974.
Yeah, originally. But we met at Alex Skolnick's birthday party at Alex's apartment when he lived in Berkeley in 1995 is where we met.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That was the first time?
That was the
Remember when I
first
came to
time.
I remember coming to your house.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was before that, I believe. Remember? And we were smoking cigarettes? No. But yeah, I remember coming and then seeing your Ripley guitar and all the bootleg videos, and you were smoking hella meth. You were smoking meth and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. But no, that was back when I had a huge Van Halen collection, which I've since, I've had to sell over the years. But I had all these I had every magazine you could think of up until that point, and videos and everything.
I remember because you made some copies for me of some of the bootlegs and stuff, and I was like, "Wow, fuck, Johnny B, my hero."
Oh, I'm not.
I thought I was the only one.
No one cares. You can see that shit on YouTube now. All right, no one gives a shit anymore.
That's true.
But yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it must have been 95, 90. I don't remember if you remember. I smoked so much weed, I don't remember fucking shit.
No, I do remember because Skolnick taught lessons at Subway, the store that I worked at, and I remember he was having it was his 25th birthday party.
God damn.
Man, that was a long time ago. So I remember going to his party at his apartment. That's where I met you, and then you had said that you worked at a rehearsal space. So I was working with a singer at the time, and that's how I first discovered Soundwave. was because of meeting you, and then the singer and I, we didn't work out. She moved away, but I kept going to Soundwave, and I'd hang out with you in the office and all my bands. And then at one point, I got a call and I left. I moved to Florida. You know,
I remember, and right before you left, I'm all, "What? You gonna work with Desmond Child? You gonna live La Vida Loca, bro?" And you're all, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah.
And that was that's a trip. That was fucking a long time ago. Yeah. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
If you said Alex was 25, that would have been 2003. Just doing the math there.
Huh? No.
No. Alex
was born in 68.
Yeah, but not in 2002. That motherfucker was already in New York. And this was the 90s. And
90s. He moved to New York right before I moved to Florida because we would talk on the phone.
You would crank call him?
Me and Skolnick. Yeah.
But no, he was 17 or 18 when he did the first Testament album in 87. So
right, he was born in 68. So in 88 he was 20.
Yeah. So it was like 94, 90, whatever the fuck it was. But no, I'm not good at math, but I know that I was 32 in 2004, and he's 2 years older than me. So yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Who cares? We were at his party. Johnny B was smoking meth.
We were at his party. Yeah. Yeah.
With no condoms. Then, I remember Johnny was crazy back then.
Wow, we're learning a lot about Johnny now.
We're trying to get banned from G-Med.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for years, and then Dave and I, we lost touch. And then all of a sudden I opened the newspaper and I see an ad for Flipside, or it was an interview or a review or something. And I'm like, that's Dave. And this was in 2000. This was in 2005 is when that was. And so that's when we reconnected. And then you called me up one night. I was at Soundwave doing recordings with, what was that one dude? He had the Old Testament room, the old Third Eye Blind room. The guy, he was building a studio in there.
That fucking guy turned out to be, his dad is some kind of fucking one of the greatest artists of all time. Stein, what the fuck was his name? Lippenstein?
Yeah.
Right? His dad did all the late 60s Andy Warhol kind of style stuff. Like his dad did the Campbell soup thing. Like the dude was like a legend, and he got he made a bunch of money. Like he gets trust fund money. Like he's getting some passive shit. Like hell of money. He's got the top recording studio in Oakland, bro. He's like he's got the biggest, and you know, most recording studios can't stay afloat because there's no money. This motherfucker ain't tripping about it. He's like, dude, I got checks coming left and right. It's just, he's not worried about that, you know?
Wow.
And he was the most coolest, humblest guy. And Johnny Beane had no idea that this dude was connected to this dude. I'm like, what?
I was hanging out with this guy. I was like his guinea pig for his recording studio that he was building in this room that used to be Testament, used to rehearse there. Third Eye Blind rehearsed there.
It was Third Eye Blind's room. It wasn't Testament.
Yeah,
Third Eye Blind's
the Third Eye Blind room. So I'm in there recording, every week. And then I end up getting a gig at the what's the place in the city on Mission? The Brava. I end up getting a gig at the Brava Theater, and it was just,
I remember.
It was me and him. He played drums, this huge theater. And then I'm driving home and I get a call. Dave calls me. He's like, hey, Jason's birthday's tomorrow. You want to come over and meet Jason? And this is 10 years ago. And so I go and meet Jason Becker for the first time with thanks to Dave.
See? How cool am I, Johnny Beane? We should, next, if you guys are ever in the Bay Area and this COVID shit is over, I would love to bring you guys over to geek out with Jason, because one thing he loves to do is when someone shows up, he's got all these fucking guitars, man. He's got all the guitars on the wall, and he wants you to play them. So you got to come in, Nerd Halen. You got to come with your eruption chops. You got to come with it, like you can't be fucking around. Like I had, what's his name?
Talk about intimidation.
That would be
you
insane.
can't, no. You can't pull that bullshit. You got to play that shit. You can't be nerd Halen and be like fucking nervous Halen. You know what I'm saying? No nerve Halen.
No nervous Halen.
I got to trademark that.
You know, I brought Angel Vivaldi over there. You guys know that dude, Angel Vivaldi. He's like a shred. Fucking, he's a known shredder. He's like the first openly gay shredder. Like he's like the fucking dopest guy I've ever met. I met him with Gus G, Ozzy guitar player, and he came out looking fucking. I'm like, damn, bro, you're fucking hella good looking. Damn, dude, you're like, damn, you're a fashion. I was like, giving him props, like this motherfucker is not fucking around. And then he's all, and then he's like, yeah, I was just watching the Golden Girls. I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden, oh, he's gay. I didn't know. And I was like, you are my fucking hero, dude. Because
the Golden Girls are fucking hilarious. I have to put it out there.
Hey, Michael, that is a brave time for you to decide to come out.
I got
on the show. You should watch with their mom.
Newsflash.
But anyway, he was all. If you see his videos, he has like choreographed dancing, like hip hop videos. Like he's the most incredible fucking artist, and I love the fact that he's just like, fuck you, I'm gay, so what, you know? And he came over, and he's a fucking monster. He came over to Jason's house and couldn't play shit. His hands were shaking. He was all, and I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy, right? And I forget, you know, because I've known Jason for so long, and I forget something like, you know, oh, that's right, it's Jason Becker. I forgot.
Jason's watching him.
That would be a mind fuck.
Yeah,
Totally.
and so it's like he's so happy when people play his guitars and he talk, you know, and so, you know, it just trips me out because I forget. I think, you know, because we're fucking, I've known him forever, and you know, we talk shit. He talks shit to me all the time. You know, he calls me his bitch all the time. Whenever the Raiders lose, you're my bitch. You're a bitch. Like, he talks shit. You have no idea. Because it's the worst thing, because he'll say like one word at a time. He's all, you are my bitch. And so you're waiting for some like wisdom and shit from some Jason Becker wisdom, and he's talking mad shit, and you're like, fuck, goddamn you. That's Jason, you know? And that's what cracks me up, because that's part of the thing in the movie when he talks about Family Guy, you know, I just want to be like a family guy. Because you know how I talk a lot of shit, I'm always kind of jokes, whatever. He's the same way, and he's actually better than me because he takes his time doing it. And you're expecting it, and they're like, oh, you got me. He's comedy, dude. He's so funny. So, you know,
that's what Brian says that. Brian Spalding said that in the chat. Jason made Eddie feel nervous. So,
oh yeah.
Well, you know, and obviously you don't expect somebody in Jason's position to be that sort of sarcastic. Like, for some strange reason, everybody thinks, well, you know, the guy's got a trach, so he can't be funny. So, oh no. Right. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. Jason has been funny the whole time, and just cool about it.
He's so fucking great, man. He's so great. Yeah, and you know, I don't know if he was nervous. Honestly, the Eddie thing. I think he was just more, like, as far as his playing goes, he was just so choked up. He was just so like, wow. It wasn't about his playing. Like Eddie, like he was still Eddie Van Halen. You know what I mean? He was still fucking shit up. He was still. You see how his attack on his right hand. Like he commanded that guitar. Like, even, you know, whereas Angel Vivaldi was shaking. He couldn't play shit. And then I saw him play at the show, and he's ripping. Eddie, no matter what, is still Eddie Van Halen. You know, he's just emotional because of being in that. He got this, you know, like I said, when he came in the room, he had to leave. He was crying. He couldn't. There was too many emotions. You know,
mm-hmm.
I don't think it had to do with his playing. Like, his playing wasn't affected because he was ripping. Some of that stuff was just fucking, like when he was doing Me Wise Magic, was it? When he was playing, oh dude, come on now, that shit was fucking. He's Eddie Van Halen.
Dave, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Was Eddie there for the telethon? Was that the main reason? Was to shoot the telethon thing, and then the rest of it was just hangout time and getting to know him and stuff, but he was there to actually.
I believe so. See, this is why I want to do a part 2 video, because I wasn't there. I wasn't hanging out a lot with Jason at the time. He was going through his things with his health. You know, he didn't want to see anybody. He wasn't really talking. I wasn't connecting with him as much. So, but
send Eddie Van Halen away.
Yeah. So then I would just show up to his house. Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna show up. You can't tell me, you know. I just show up, and then he'd come in, and we start talking shit to each other and laughing. And so his dad was like, you know what, Dave, you don't ever have to call. Just come over. You make him so happy, and you make him laugh, and you guys, right? So that's how we reconnected again. You know, because I was like, fuck that. I need to go see him. I need to go hang out with my friend. You know, I don't know how long he got or anything, but I always walked in. I never was like, oh my God, I feel sorry for you, guy. You know, I was always like, fuck, man, you're gonna get better, man. Fuck, we just talked. We just kept it in the moment and joking. And that's always been my attitude with him, because he's always been the baddest motherfucker I know. Even, you know, so I always have this dream that he picks me up from my house, and he drives terribly because he's a horrible driver. Like, I always have this. Like, if anybody's in the fucking beat, ALS is that fucking guy, you know. So I always have that hope, and I always believe it. And so that's how I am with him. Like, I know this is just for now. You're gonna be back to fucking being Eddie Van Halen. I mean, Jason Becker, you know. So
you know his soul, man. That's
I do.
Yeah,
I do, but I also know his brother and his mother and his dad and Serrana. Like, you know, I know they're my family, you know. So, but as far as all those questions about, I don't know. I wasn't there. I heard some things, and I want to do a little StreamYard thing like this and have Jason, all his family, and show clips of the videos. And that would be part 2, where we actually answer those questions, because there's a lot of things. Like what he wrote on the guitar. You guys didn't see what he wrote on the guitar, you know. So, you know, we're probably make a part 2 video, not right now, but we will. I'm pretty sure we will. And those questions, I wish I knew, you know, more. But I just know what I hear when I saw in the video, and you know, yeah, it's you know, we will know soon. You know, whenever Jason's up for it. You know, right now he's concentrating on his health and getting better, you know, and just being the baddest guy in the world. So, you know, yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here. I need to get my headphones are about to die. So I have to log out and you know, be fucking, you know, but I'm really happy to talk to everybody.
Nice to meet you, Dave.
It was good meeting you, man.
great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everybody's hella cool here except for Johnny Beane.
Right.
Fuck that guy.
That makes sense.
No, come on. Johnny Beane's like my bro. That's the homie, the family. So, you know, we love Johnny Beane. You talk so fucking much, Johnny Beane. God damn it.
Never fuck up.
I think
like
he said, yeah, 4 times in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like the Uncle Ron of
Especially when you're with
Van Halen videos. Yeah, he's the Uncle Ron of these kind of shows. He's just fucking in the back filming. Hey, that's funny.
Right.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night, man, and thank you for just being here and talking guitars. And Bright Strat, what is it called? What's the show called? Straturday?
Saturday night. Yes.
Saturday night. Yeah, that's cool. No.
It's John Biel's show.
It's Saturday. We're going to talk Straturday, and we're not even going to show a fucking Strat. We're just going to talk about Van Halen again. Just call it. That's still Van Halen.
It was.
I know it was, but it's not. It's hella funny because I'm like Straturday. It should be Van Halen Day again. But thank you guys for this. Is great, and I'll get back on here hopefully with more stuff. And you know, Neil Sean hit up Jason. He saw the Twitter, and he was, you know, guys like that, you know, are very supportive and cool. So, you know, I love hearing that. So
Neil Sean just followed me. He followed the band and he followed me on Twitter. I'm still freaking out about it.
So you should call it Nerve Halen, bro. You Nerve Halen. You be fucking nervous. Oh my God, Neil Sean. Well,
That's
Sur-
awesome.
Surreal.
he's fucking Neil Sean, man. He's badass, and you deserve it. You're fucking great, man. Fucking
Thanks, dude.
awesome. I love it, man. Yeah. But all you guys are cool too.
Yes,
Ah!
everyone else.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Enjoy your night, and keep watching that video. The cool thing about the video is that you can't watch it just once. You have to watch. I watched that shit about 100 times. Like,
Yeah.
and every single time when that music kicks in, oh, you know. So it's gonna be that video. It's gonna be a viral video. It's gonna keep growing, and people are gonna, you know, cry it up. You know, so perfect time. You know, where we're going through. It's a perfect, beautiful video. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys have a good night. Thanks for
Take
having
care,
me.
brother.
Later.
All right,
Take
see you
care,
guys.
Dave.
Awesome. Good night, man.
Good night, Johnny. You bastard. All right.
Good night.
Super cool. Wow.
That was awesome, huh? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Actually, yeah, we talked this morning. Actually, I wake up this morning. I pick up my phone. Literally half an hour after I woke up half an hour after Jason posted that video. I'm watching the video. And like Dave said, you know, I had already seen, I saw more of it like a couple weeks ago. But I'm watching the video, and then Dave calls me this morning, you know? So we talked on the phone this morning for a while. And then that's when he's like, "Oh, don't you do a show on Saturdays?" I'm like, "Yeah, jump on in with us." So
That was really cool.
That was cool. Oh yeah.
yeah. And sorry, yeah, I know his audio was a little rough, but
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
We're used to it with Paul.
He just
I mean, once in a while. Not tonight, you know. Of course, not tonight. A different Paul.
Where's Jay?
I don't know.
Yeah, where's Jay?
Those
Where
cookies
is he?
kicked in, or?
exactly the cookies kicked in.
Jay,
way-
where are you?
Can you tell the dogs know it's midnight? Midnight Arizona time?
Yeah.
They're both like, all right, you're done.
Oh. Whoa. Hey.
Hello.
Perfect.
I gotta tell you something.
Hello, my
Oh no.
hello, my big friend.
How many of those cookies do you have left?
Cheers.
That's funny.
So I gotta tell you,
Jay hammered tonight.
Jay Hammer.
They hammers tonight.
That's how I feel sometimes.
I feel like I'm on another planet right now. So I was doing some Christmas shopping. I gotta turn the volume up.
Your router.
I was doing some Christmas shopping online here. The show started.
me?
I had to get some other stuff done. I was like, I'll jump in a little later, you know. So I go downstairs. I make a drink.
What's going on?
With what?
You can't hear Jay?
I can't.
Oh.
Should I jump out and jump back in? Or
No, I hear him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear
Hello.
Jay. Fine.
Jay?
He can't hear me either.
I can.
Oh, you
now
can?
Now Michael can't.
No, we're fucking with you, man.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. I was gonna say it's contagious. So anyway, I come up here. I had some other things I had to take care of, then the Christmas shop and stuff and all that. So I'm literally about to jump in. I'm about to hit the button. And then forgive me. What's his name?
John Beal.
Dave jumped in. So I was like, well, I don't want to, because I knew what you guys were going to be talking about, and I didn't want to jump in like this. You know what I mean? So I literally was back in the early 2017 where I was like just listening as a fan and perusing some stuff and having a little bit of grandpa's old cough medicine here. Because like I said, I didn't want to jump in when all that was going on, because I would have fucking just completely ruined the mood and all the stuff, and I didn't want to do that. I feel like I'm deaf in my left ear. What? So I figured I'd wait, you know. And the second somebody said, "Where's Jay?" and I was like, "Oh, maybe I should jump in now. Now might be a good time."
Yeah, I was about to message you.
That was Lenny and Squiggy entrance. Hello.
Yeah. Where's Jay? Back.
Rest in peace, Squiggy.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Now my microphone's popping.
No,
it's not.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm getting effed with. I get it. I'm fine with that.
We like to tease around here.
Oh man. So how you guys doing, man? I mean, the whole show's been great. It's been serious. But I can't be serious right now.
Let's have some fun.
You saw the video,
We
right?
haven't.
No. Dude,
oh, you got to see the video.
I can't right now.
Oh,
He can't even.
mute Jay and watch it. We got to watch you.
No, I'll be in the corner crying.
Jay still hasn't seen Wolfgang's video,
I can't watch the whole thing.
right?
I can't
Are you
watch
for real? You haven't seen
Come
Wolf?
on, dude. It's healthy to cry.
I know it is.
Yeah, believe me. Take.
You know what? I got a question.
Cry.
I got a question. This will be an interesting question for at least two people in this panel. For Jay and Caleb, is it different watching Wolfgang's video as a parent?
Yes.
Okay.
It's funny, and I'll let Caleb answer if he wants to add on to this after I kind of give my little spiel here. After Ellie was born, I would say, I don't know, maybe a year later or something, year and a half later, I called one of my buddies who has 3 kids. And I was like, dude, what's going on with me? I was like, ever since we had Ellie, I've become way more emotional, and it's weird. And I don't know if it's just a normal thing as you get older or whatever. He's like, no. He's like, dude, I totally understand what you're saying. And yes, you do. And certain things hit you obviously way more because, you know, I used to bust my friends' balls that had kids when they didn't want to hang out. I'm like, dude, come on, man. What do you got? You know, all this crap. And now I get it now. I get it. The most important thing to me is hanging out with my kids. So it's definitely different. Yes. And that's part of the reason why I don't want to watch it.
There's several moments. There's several moments in that video where, you know, and I don't want to get back on the thing. Eddie's so normal, so regular. There's nothing different about the guy. When in the beginning, when Wolfie's heading upstairs, and Eddie just says, you know, I just love you. You know, I say that to my kid every day, like 20 times a day. It's just you look at your child and you just can't believe it.
Yeah. That,
you know, that's yours, and you could hear it in that moment in the beginning of the video. And I love that he says, like, you know, we gotta get you your own studio. Like, you know, he just wanted to make his kid happy, and you could tell Wolfgang was like, okay, Dad, whatever.
They don't get it, Caleb. Yeah, when you know, same thing with me. I tell Ellie all the time, it's the same type of thing, and I'm like,
you guys just became those parents. You guys don't know. You don't have
no. I'm just saying it's a weird thing. Like, no, I'm saying Ellie doesn't know. I didn't mean they. I didn't mean you guys. I meant your kids don't know. And everybody in the chat that has kids, you know that when you tell them all this stuff, they don't get it. You know?
Yeah.
I guess that's why the other 4.
We were all that age. We don't get it. We didn't get it.
Yeah.
You don't want us breeding.
Yeah. The reason why the rest of us are just fucking we're uncaring motherfuckers.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea that my bloodline stops right here.
Exactly. End it just right there.
I don't believe it.
There's a couple other drops in that video that are really special. And when Eddie's laying in the yard and Wolfgang's like on his knees, you know, like I used to call that the captain's chair when I have the baby, just sort of, you know, my legs together, and he would just be looking at, you know, I'd just be looking at him, he'd be looking at me, and I think every parent's had that, you know, where the kid's on their lap like that, and they're laying back, like we used to do it all the time. We called it the captain's chair. And it's funny that the captain, but
the captain.
The captain's not allowed to use the captain's chair by legal proclamation.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's not allowed to be within 50 yards of any kids.
when
I've always wanted to have children, just God never gave them to me, so that's just the way it is, and that's fine.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'll get deep about a minute. I'll get deep. So there's always that thing about, like, you know, the music career. I saw somebody said that was the end of my music career, and I'm sure Blackie Ted means volunteer. Like, that's fine. You know, hey, you know, obviously the kids turn into the priority. But I'll say that, you know, I get the question every once in a while, like, you know, do you wish, you know, do you have any regrets about, like, you know, how the band kind of, you know, the music career type of thing? And, you know, there's a bunch of different variables about why, you know, maybe somebody's, mine included, you know, music career didn't, you know, just keep going up. You know what I mean? But I sometimes get that question about, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? If everything would have happened, I guess, professionally better for us, and we got to that next level and stuff like that, this wouldn't be happening. You know, like, I wouldn't have had these kids at this time. So I'm fine with how everything worked out. I have, like, it once this happened, I was like, F it.
There's no reason.
There's no regrets.
It's not over.
You were so blessed.
No, I know, but I'm talking about the touring and, like, when you're in that mode in your life where that was the most important thing. I didn't care about anything else but the band at that point.
Yeah,
now
you'll have the band, and your kids will be watching you side stage. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, no, Jay and Caleb, you guys you are beyond blessed. Believe me.
My ex and I actually had a deliberate conversation when we first started dating. And I was still doing the band thing, and we were replacing our bass player. And a crossroads. Oh no, he quit. He had a we didn't know at the time, but he had some issues that he had to take care of, and he kept, you know, like, when you're a kid, you don't fucking tell people what's going on in your life. You try to keep as much of it private. And so the other four of us had to find a new bass player at the same time that I was meeting my ex-wife at the time. So you've heard the phrase, you can't serve two masters. You get a crossroads in your life and you have to make a decision. So that's the decision I made. But when we made that decision, we actually had a conversation, a little conversation. She said, well, look, what are you going to do for career-wise if you're not going to do this? I said, well, I'm going to get into radio. But understand, if I get into radio, we're going to have to move around a lot, because that's just the way radio is. It's like sports and like the military. You know, you can lose your job for no reason, and you have to pick up your life and move all around the country at a drop like that. Yeah. And that's not fair to do to a kid. So we have to have this conversation if this relationship is going to go any further. If we're going to do this, and this is what I'm going to do for a living, you got to understand, kids probably shouldn't be in the mix. And she was in agreement, you know, because she had a bad childhood as well. So we both came from a bad childhood, and made a conscious decision, because imagine going from Boston to Memphis to New Orleans to Columbus, Ohio, to Sacramento, California, back to Boston, and then Kansas City and Phoenix, all in a span of 15 years.
That's insanity.
Yeah. You just can't do that to a kid. You
should. If that was a tour, that'd be awesome. But
yeah. It's good routing. I mean, I got to be honest with you, my career has been routed well. But you know, like being here in Phoenix, I've been in Phoenix for a decade now, and it's the longest I've ever been in any one city, outside of growing up in Boston. So it's not fair to do that to a kid. I mean, obviously kids are they're durable. They'll do anything. But imagine, you know, like we talked about what Eddie Van Halen went through about going to strange environments. Imagine every, 2 years, 3 years, you have to pull a kid out of their social circle, take them away from their family, take them away from their friends, take them away from their school and all that they love, and then throw them into a new environment. Imagine how fucked up that kid would be.
My parents did that twice, both in the middle of a school year. You know how hard it is?
Yeah.
To go to a new, not only a new
you're the new kid twice.
Yeah, you got your best friends and then goodbye.
Oh my God.
New fucking situation.
That was the worst.
So it's got to be difficult as a musician, especially a touring musician. We hear all those stories about leaving your family. Now, let's flash back to the original impetus of this discussion, Eddie Van Halen's video with Wolfgang. Imagine being Eddie Van Halen and being on the road fucking 20 months in a row.
Yeah.
And leaving your kid, being out for fucking almost 2 years.
There's a Neil Peart interview, and he talks about that. He's like, he goes, my daughter he's like, I know when I'm on the road, I know why I'm there. I know why I'm doing it. And I can compartmentalize everything. He's like, my young kid at home, she doesn't understand what's going on. She's like, Daddy's gone. That's all it is. And I'm like, the original plan for the Byzantine record that's coming up is I was going to go to West Virginia for a month. Then I got it down to 2 weeks. And then we worked out a thing where we can do the whole record here. And I was like, I don't even want to leave for 2 weeks. It's just a weird thing. And I'm like,
two quick stories.
I'll be right back.
Technology now.
We're talking about this. Everybody's leaving.
But technology now can allow you to do that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Of go back 20 years. That's just impossible.
Michael, you make a great point. I mean, when you watch like all the touring footage from, before the cell phone era, I mean, could you imagine not having any contact unless it's like through a payphone at a truck stop at 3 a.m? Yeah. When you get to a gig, you're like call and collect and all that stuff. Nowadays, I mean, it's a lot easier in that sense, but it still sucks.
Oh, it does. Back then, think about it. Really.
Yeah.
Your pager goes off. My wife's calling me. I'm on the road. I have to go find a phone now that's working.
Yeah. And think of the feeling if you're home, even if it's not through a pager, but if it is a page, like you're paging your husband or your boyfriend, whatever the hell case may be, and he isn't able to call you at that point for another 3 hours, like it's tough, man.
Two quick stories. One of a guitar player for one of the biggest artists in rock music. I happen to have been friends with for a while, and we've lost touch recently, but that person would go out on the road and tour around the world and then come home and not see their kids for a long time. And when they would come back home, they missed first steps, they missed first words, they missed all of these things. And I remember them telling me a story about how they were at the breakfast table and one of the kids was misbehaving, and that this person said to the kid to try and correct him, don't do that. And their partner said back to them, hey, don't talk to that kid like that. You haven't been here.
Ooh.
And it was like, holy shit, what a horrible thing to say to somebody who's out there trying to make a living for your family to keep you in the situation that you're in right now.
Yeah.
Second one, I know these guys I'll name because the story's not embarrassing or potentially, inappropriate to be told. The guys in Tesla and the guys in Jackal schedule their tours around weekends and holidays and shit so that they can only be away from their family for a shortest period of time possible. The guys in Jackal will go out for like 2 weeks, do the motorcycle rally circuit, and then they're home.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to miss their families. And the same thing with the guys in Tesla. They fly out, they do their thing. Sometimes they get backline provided, so they just fly in for the gig, do their shit, and come home. Like a lot of those guys don't even go out in buses anymore. They schedule their tours around their families.
Yeah.
Obviously they've achieved a certain level of success.
Certainly not enables them to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly not the level of success of the story I just told. But when major artists are away from their family and they have to do things like 24-month tours, where they do 12 months in the United States and then they go over to Europe and Asia and all that shit for the other year.
World, yeah.
They're away from their families for 2 years. Well, Jay, and I'm sure Caleb would echo this sentiment. 2 years is a lifetime for a kid. The amount of development and changes and shit that happen. So imagine being away from that person or being away from your family
is a lifetime when you're a kid.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, being away from your kid for a year or almost 2 years, and the only thing you get is cell phone video, and you can't be there when they take their first steps or hear their first words.
Yeah.
Because you're out touring, working, doing their thing. So everybody dreams of being a rock star, having the rock star lifestyle, but it's not that great.
Well, I'll tell you this.
All said.
It takes a fuck of a toll on you no matter
Sure.
what.
Takes years off your life.
Absolutely.
There's somebody that I don't really know them that well anymore, but I used to. And they were a roadie for a pretty big band, like a really, really big band. And obviously this person being the roadie with the band knew all of them. And I remember him telling me one time, and this wasn't maybe this is probably about 10 years ago that I heard this story. And he's like, dude, people think that being in a rock, being a rock star and being in one of the biggest bands is the greatest thing. He's like, everybody in that band is miserable. They have kids that the kids are this and that. They're either on drugs, they're this, or the kids don't know them that well, and they're having family issues and they're on their third marriages and all this crap. He's like, yeah, everybody looks up to them and they think they live this glorious life. And yeah, as a rock star, they do, and they have the fame and the fortune. Well, he's like, they're miserable. And I'm like, is it worth it? That's
an interesting study, right? To look back on like all the major rock bands in the last 30 years, say, right? And then to just look at how the relationships of the people in the band with their wives, the children, just how did it happen? How did that unfold? That would be a hell of a study.
Well, there are two examples.
I'm gonna guess that there's a lot more failures than success. That's my guess.
There are two examples of great show business kids that, despite every obstacle put in front of them to develop normally, have done. Obviously, one is Wolfgang. That kid seems so well balanced and so well developed and unfazed by all of this. He just seems to have his shit together, despite the fact that his father wasn't around all that much. His mother did a great job. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the parenting that Eddie and Valerie did for Wolfgang speaks volumes, as we see right now. That kid is way, way fucking ahead of so many of his peers. Yep. And then I got to say, Nick and Sophie Simmons are both remarkably well developed and socially understanding, given the fact that their father has been away for so long and stuff like that. Those are the two that immediately come to mind as kids that have grown up and done and really really stand out as being as normal or even exceptional, despite being from a showbiz family.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the stories of Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez and the Osborne kids, and I mean, how many other sons or daughters of musicians and or celebrities that have just been a nightmare. Zappa's kids, there's a great one. Jeff T brings up Zappa's kids are fairly well developed.
Hey, are Dweezil and Amit friendly again?
I don't know,
because that broke my heart when I
would hope they would be. I remember they were suing Dweezil for using the family name. I was like,
yeah, and and then Dweezil put out, was it Amit or Dweezil put out? I think they both had like a back and forth through either social media.
Right, that's a shame.
And I was like, oh my god, that you remember they did the game show on MTV together, and it was like they were just, oh man, there's no way, like
again, knowing what we know about Frank Zappa, it makes sense that his kids would have their shit together for the most part. Because Zappa was clearly super intelligent, uber intelligent, one of those guys that I'm sure fairly strict in his family, that sort of structure.
Yeah, but man, that shit hit the fan. It was so sad to see that. Yeah, Ben Tom mentions, both brothers, both sisters, or two brothers, two sisters. And it was, I think, Dweezil and Moon Unit, and then Amit and he's saying Gail. I didn't know the other one.
I think Gail's the wife.
Okay.
I had that single, Dweezil's single. My Mother is a Space Cadet.
My Mother is a Space Cadet.
I had that 45. Yeah. Yeah, and the flip side to that was Crunchy Water, and then if you listen to it, I think the very intro is Eddie. Eddie's playing like a slide guitar, the very, very intro to that song.
What song?
Eddie produced it. It was called "My Mother Is a Space Cadet" by Dweezil Zappa.
Is that the one with the Blue Jackson with the Madonna's face, or was that the one before that?
No. It was way.
That's My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama.
That's what I thought it was.
This was way before that. This was 80.
Was he like
82? 3?
Was he like 13?
Yeah, he was a kid. They were all kids.
I thought he was 15 when My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama. I was gonna say, the white shirt. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good album, man.
Yeah, it is.
This is before that.
I thought he was 15 on that, and then like 17 for Having a Bad Day or something like that. That's a good album. Randy V 5150 mentions it.
Confessions is great too.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's the pinnacle of
It's a fun one.
And Ahmed sings on a couple songs on that.
There's another one called Automatic that's great too. That has his cover of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," which
Wait, Paul
is appropriate this time
Go
around.
back to
Oh, I haven't heard that.
real quick.
Go back to what?
Confessions. Do you still have it in your hand?
Yeah.
What does it say? What does it say? Producer on that?
Jay Hannon.
No.
Barbara Papa.
Hang on, it's Nuno. I think.
Yeah, it's Nuno.
Yeah, I think it's Nuno.
And there's a lot of vocals from like Pat Badger from Extreme. There it is.
There you go.
Get the hotkey, the PF5 for that.
Yeah,
You know how
Nuno plays on the record too.
Yep.
How many people would kill for that selfie?
Well,
Who took the
Johnny
picture?
Beane.
Johnny Beane.
Who took the picture?
What about this selfie? Yeah.
Meh.
Oh, man.
Meh.
Meh.
Yeah, so I think Gary Sharon, Pat Badger, and obviously Nuno's voice is all over that record.
Ozzy too.
Is it really?
Ozzy does "Staying Alive."
What?
Wow. I've never heard this. I'm gonna have to jump in.
heard
We're gonna
it.
have to
Oh, no,
listen to
I
this.
No. Yeah.
It's on Spotify with a different album cover. I wonder why.
John, you have to put it in Discord.
No, myself, the only Zappa album I ever owned was that single.
Dude,
Because Eddie was on it. That's the only reason.
you got to listen to Confessions. It is top-notch stuff. It really is. It's really good. And Paul, do you know if that's actually Alan Thicke doing the return of the son of Shagunga Gunga Gunga?
Oh, I don't know if it is or not.
Is it true that Alan was thick?
Or he liked thick girls?
Yeah, you didn't know that it was Ozzy on "Staying Alive"?
No.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Oh, so it was Caleb that took that picture with the three of you looking up. Oh, okay.
Oh, Nuno's.
New nose.
Who's that behind him?
I was gonna say you gotta crop that other dude out.
Is that Paul? Paul Gilbert?
Oh, shit.
That's pretty funny.
It's like, get away from me! Get away from me! It must be funny to tower over Nuno, although everybody does.
I
He's
tower
one of-
over everybody.
Look, even I am.
Yeah.
and I'm 4'3".
Hey, and
with heels.
One of the best guitar players on the planet, not tall enough to get on the cool rides at Six Flags.
Six Flags.
Wow. Is Nuno shorter than Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Nuno's
yes.
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
tiny.
5'5". He's real. He's like a Danny DeVito short guy.
Yeah, I had to find a photo of. I think it was this past man or 2 years ago. I got him in here somewhere.
Were you at the last NAMM?
Really?
I keep forgetting.
By the way, the last
It was almost a year ago.
that was in January, Johnny.
I can't believe it. It's almost a year since
I know,
that, man.
2020.
I'm leaning over. He's not that short, but he probably has heels on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's wearing elevator shoes.
The lifts in his shoes.
Yeah, he's a tiny
John,
little thing.
John, did you say Danny DeVita?
I might have said maybe I said Danny DeVito. I meant Danny DeVito, but
I ran back from the bathroom because I thought I heard that.
You ran back.
I didn't even wash my hands.
That would be
man. I
like
was
the female.
wait a
That'd be
minute,
like
wait
the
a minute.
female version of Danny DeVito.
Literally
Danny
to abuse
DeVito.
him. You're like, I'm not washing my
Maybe
hands.
the cross-dressing version, Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And I got a Danny DeVita, honey.
Yuck.
Okay.
Yes.
Or baby, whatever the hell it is. Got a Danny DeVito.
What's that?
Living Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah.
DeVito Loca.
Vita Loca.
Living
Living DeVito Loca.
Living Danny DeVito Loca.
All right, there you go. Someone's gonna make that one.
Small guy. He is
Living Danny
DeVito. About 3 foot high. Looking at Danny DeVito.
It's Donny Osmond on Staying Alive, Paul.
No, it's not.
That's what Robert Richardson just messaged me with. I hope he
Oh,
doesn't mind me
boy.
saying it.
Oh boy. I'll put the,
John B.
if I
Look
have
it
to.
up. Let's hear it.
Here you go. I'll give you the.
John
Wait
B.
a minute.
You gotta look it up. Didn't sound like Ozzy to me.
Oh my God, Donna DeVita.
Danny DeVito ain't fucking no shit tonight.
There you go. The
Wow.
link is in the chat.
Wow.
Where? I don't see it. We on dial up?
It's I put it in the chat for the on YouTube, so everybody has a link.
Huh?
What?
What?
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I only see
Actually,
Donna DeVita.
Nuno's. So here are his shoes. Look.
Oh, there's
Size
lips.
3.
Oh my God.
He's got a giant tag that says Nuno on him.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to NAMM, dude.
Those tags are actually tiny.
Well, looks big on him.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
They're like this big.
Yeah, Nuno's coming up.
Oh. Nuno's coming on next week, everybody.
Let's see what Google says. How tall is Nuno? Usually Google has an answer.
Who's taller, Nuno or Danny DeVito?
Paul, that's not the album version.
Danny DeVito.
That's not.
I know it was kept off the album.
No, Staying
It says
Alive is on
5'8".
that album.
No, that version was kept off the album.
He's 5'8".
Oh, you made it seem like
I think
that
he's 5'8".
Ozzy was the one on the album. The one on
That
the
was
album.
the version. That was the version that was supposed to go on the album, and he was told not to. I told you. You said you were talking about people that were on the album. I'm going. Ozzy was supposed to be on the album.
Leave a thumbs up, everybody, please.
I don't trust my brain right now. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Wait, before we split tonight, hold on a second. Are we gonna ignore the elephant in the room, Caleb? We're a week removed.
I know. Caleb's still on his phone, still uninterested, and you wonder why people are talking smack on the chat. I mean, on the comments.
People are sending me stuff on our chat. What are you talking about? Fuck.
That was private stuff.
Son.
Yo,
Private stuff.
hold on. Before we give away what happened, I saw the comment, right? And then I should show you the screenshot of the message between me and Johnny. So all I did was take a screenshot, send it to Johnny, and I said, I hope Caleb doesn't see this. And then what does John Biel do? John Biel takes a screenshot and sends it to everybody. Highlighter in yellow. And
Now it's my fault. For the record, I didn't bring this up tonight.
I
Well,
would.
you
For
know.
the record, though,
The funny
I didn't
shit
bring it
was-
up tonight.
The funny thing is I showed Jeannie the two screenshots, or the text, the messages. I showed the one of me taking the screenshot and sending it to Johnny and saying, I hope Caleb doesn't see this. And then instantly panned over to the one of John Biel taking a screenshot and sending it to him.
I would have
Never
never.
he hears it from me.
I would have never have seen it.
Thank you, John Biel.
Well, here's the
Well,
funny part
hey.
is I saw
I'm sorry.
Too
It's,
instigated.
it's apparently
no,
my
I saw the
fault now.
comments. The comments, it was like there were 7 comments, but there were only 4 visible. So I went from like top to newest first, and then it expanded, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, snap.
I'm not saying anything. And then like 3 days later, 3 days later, we get the screenshot in the chat. I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's here now. And then the other day, I'm on the air, and I see Caleb has decided to start responding. So I'm like, all right, I'm logging in, and I'm jumping in.
John Bull, everybody.
And I tapped in for one comment and then tapped right out.
2 minutes for John BL.
Yeah, I mean,
I knew Caleb was going to lose his shit over it. That's why I didn't want him to see it.
If they ain't bitching,
they loved it. It was all compliments for you, Jay.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. I'm like, I don't want Caleb to all of a sudden think like, oh, this guy's trying to pin me and Jay against each other. I was like, I'm not even going to show him. I'm not going to say.
No, we're all. I mean, hey, it's all between us. I mean, it's all it's all our thing. So I mean, it's it's nothing. No secret between us.
It's no big deal. It doesn't bother me. I found his address.
Oh no, it was funny because like 3 comments in there, I'm like, oh my god, he knows where he works. Like all of a sudden, like the stalker key was like, whoosh, it's on.
Caleb is actually filming tonight from the guy's living room.
You want to say anything?
I had to liven up. My
Oh, you right now.
Come up here.
Put slow motion on it.
What is that?
Oh, that's the wig from another guitar player from another Van Halen tribute band. Caleb's gone Jeffrey Dahmer. He's just collecting bodies in the freezer.
I mean, I don't know. Brian Spalding is saying that we in the chat don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, they haven't read the comments.
Oh,
read the comments from last week.
But don't leave the video. Just open up a new window. Go to last Straturday Night Live.
Oh, come on. We don't need to put them on here.
Go to newest first. No, but people have to.
Yeah, Johnny, open up a window.
Oh, man. Get to see what I write to people.
Well, then don't write it.
It's not like it's not public.
I'm deleting.
Isolate.
Give him like the fucking linear notes.
But I knew, man. The second I've been done seeing it, I was like, oh no.
He kisses Paul's ass a few times because you can see that you tap on the guy's name, you can see what other comments he's made throughout his history.
Oh, he does?
Channel, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I find out. That's why I found out where he lived. That's why I found out because he said I live in so and so.
Oh, I need to look now. I don't know who this guy is.
Are you watching tonight, buddy? You having a problem tonight with me?
Well, you were on your phone and playing guitar during the.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I'm staying out of all of it, man.
Thanks for bringing it up, Jay.
Nice job, Jay.
No, it's funny. It really is, and I'm like, I said it to Jeannie. Was it earlier today or last night? I was like, should I mention? And she's like, it's probably going to come up. You might as well. I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
It didn't come up,
Jeannie,
Jay.
So Jeannie definitely is not the angel on the arm. She's a little devil. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. Do it, say it now.
I think she just figured it was going to come up anyway. I might as well be the one to bring it up. She was actually thinking about coming on tonight, and then she had a couple beers, and that was the end of that.
Oh,
Okay.
a couple.
Yeah,
Just bring her on. I want to talk to her.
I'll bring the camera into the room. Oh man, too funny. Too funny.
Awesome shit.
No, wait, hold on a second. Renus Pinkle says Jay, the official pot stir. John BL. Him.
That was between us, man.
No, that was in house. John BL brought it in house. You took it to the people.
Well, hey, people got to know what's going on.
The people need to know.
They pay good money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for the after show.
Can't wait for next week's comments.
By the way, people.
I'm not going to click end, so everybody will get to see the after show.
Click, gone, done.
The first 2.5 hours of the show were fine.
Oh man.
I mean, I hate to mention this on the air, but we should probably do a fake after show where we act like we don't know we're in the after show.
That's what Johnny's saying. Like hit end.
Well, we
That'd
should
be
have,
funny.
but now it's
Now you've
you let
blown
the
it.
cat out of the bag.
Oh, I messed it up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Ah.
Again, Caleb fucking things up.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll show up in the comments.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
So that's
Fuck
like
him
that's
anyway.
one for John BL. That's one for Jay.
I-
Caleb.
I just
Hey,
can't believe
I'm glad it's not me this week.
Paul.
It's glad it's not butter.
I can't believe there's no thumbs downs.
Oh,
There you go.
thanks a lot. There you go.
Right.
Nice job, Bean.
There you go. You know what? I'm going to be the
Good
first
item.
one. I just gave the first one. There you go.
Oh,
There it is.
Jesus.
Oh,
That is
come
true.
on.
3.
Oh.
It's still, you know what? If we can get the ratio that they got on that Sunset Sound video, see, it all comes full circle.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to go back to that, but I saw
Man.
a lot of the comments are pretty funny. I will say that.
I said, is he gonna do Van Halen 2 from the butcher shop?
God.
Oh.
I just think it was great that they were able to get Jason Pierre-Paul to play. That's a football joke. He blew 2 of his fingers off on 4th of
I was
July.
going to say that. We blew his fingers off.
What's that?
Written by Barry McCockiner? What?
My God.
Donny Osmond. Man, look at that lineup. Tim Pierce did a solo on that? Oh, my goodness.
Lucas Irv, DeMartini,
Ted Nugent,
Zach Wild.
Lauren DiMartini, Steve Luther. Look at these.
Vanilla Ice played bass? Okay.
Theirs goes doon 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 dicka doon doon. Mine just goes.
Mine goes.
Doon dicka doon doon. Doon doon.
It's not even close to the same.
Yeah,
Wow.
not even close, bro.
Oh,
Did you just write that and take a picture of it?
No, Robert Richardson sent it to me. Telling Paul, no, I'm joking. He didn't say anything.
I'm telling you, he couldn't get clearance to do it. It actually eventually came out on Ozzy's Prince of Darkness box set. He finally got it released.
The Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Ozzy's done a lot of stuff that he doesn't remember. He's also on a Was Not Was record from 1984 that most people don't know about. A song called Shake Your Head, Let's Go to Bed that originally featured a young Madonna on background vocals, but eventually the record company put a squash to that and they put Kim Basinger in there as the second vocalist.
What?
And Ozzy doesn't remember recording it.
I don't remember hearing it.
Oh, it's great. It's like a new wave skinny tie synth pop song from an album called Born to Laugh at Tornadoes by Was Not Was.
Oh, that's
that
me.
one.
That's okay. That's me.
Here you go. For anybody that's looking for it.
Was Not Was. I just remember that one song they had. There was like that.
Dinosaur.
Yeah. And Don wasn't he involved in producing Van Halen at one point, supposedly?
Well, he was a big producer for a long time. I don't know if he actually produced anything for Van Halen.
No, I think he was brought in to possibly do Different Kind of Truth or something.
he was not. Then he was.
Or maybe Van Halen 3. Maybe Van Halen 3, Don Was is brought in.
Van
something.
Halen Encyclopedia.
John Biel. Yeah.
I like what John Biel said. It was not, then he was.
They wanted Van Halen wanted Bob Rock for Balance.
Really?
Yeah. But it didn't line up.
But Balance sounds fine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of my
Balance.
favorite albums, but then
Does any here's some trivia. Let's see if the chat knows. If they don't know, we'll ask you guys. What was another possible album name for Balance that was released? Or that was an idea at the time. There was another name. There was another name out there.
Somebody's chat security for Nerd Halen. What's that?
That's funny.
Who is that?
It's probably the dude that hates you and loves me.
Oh,
Keep it coming.
What was the name, Johnny? Were they going to keep in line with the almost like obviously all the albums the same before this were all 5150.
There was another name. There was another name that they had mentioned in an interview that would possibly be the name of the next record. Which,
well, you've given people enough time to Google it now.
Which became Balance. No, nobody would know this. Nobody. I know it because I remember an interview where they said it, but
You ain't gonna pull it up on Google.
no, nobody's gonna know it. But I'm asking if anybody does. Baby Cakes? No.
After the album cycle is done, Tammy is going to be booted. That's what it's called.
Jay, watch your mouth, man.
You watch your goddamn mouth.
Watch your goddamn mouth.
For Nerd Halen. That is awesome. I want a T-shirt that says "Chat Security for Nerd Halen."
That is funny shit.
We should have Cobra Kai make some shirts, man. Chat Security, Nerd Halen on the back.
Perfect.
Cobra Kai knock it out of the ballpark.
Where's he been, man? I haven't seen him in the chat in a while now. In a while.
Yeah, there's a few people we haven't seen.
Yeah, what's up with David Ennis? What he's missing?
I haven't seen him in any chat for a long time, and I'm just wondering.
Well, are you still receiving the membership money from him?
Guitars?
They hope they're all right.
I'll answer that once we're done.
Okay, because if you are, then obviously, hopefully that's good news. But if you're not, maybe
once we hang up, ask me that again, and I'll answer that. But
click it.
or you could just send it in the private chat, but you probably shouldn't because then Jay will make it public.
But seriously though, we are. I mean, I think we're all kind of worried because we haven't seen him in any chat for a while.
I hope he's all right, man.
I will tell you, I used to see stuff from him on Facebook, and as I double checked him, we're not friends anymore on Facebook.
He's got 2 profiles.
Oh, well then maybe it's the other one.
He has several profiles because I would get all kinds of requests from him like everywhere.
Kurt 5150 said that he talked to Cobra Kai today on Discord. So
Okay.
that's good.
No, Cobra Kai's fine. I see him in the Discord all the time. But David Ennis, I haven't seen him anywhere. I haven't seen him anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's been a huge supporter of well, me at least. He sent me this guitar. He sent me another guitar. He's sent me all kinds of gifts and presents and stuff.
Well, he's been a great. He's been awesome
and he's
man. Yeah.
He's been a viewer of these shows for a number of years.
A number of people.
Number of years.
For a long time. David Ennis has been there. Going back a lot of years.
Yeah.
Jeff T, you got it. That's it. There we go. The club. The club. That was another name.
What was the theme running up to that? You said that all the albums had a kind of like an album title that balance. With,
well, all I know with this is the club. Jeff T. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't man? What was their manager? What was their manager's name?
Ray Daniels.
No, their actual manager, not him. The guy, he was Sammy's manager, and then he became Van Halen's manager. Leffler. Leffler. They used to call him the Club. That was his nickname, and then Balance was the first record to come out after he had passed away. So they were going to name the next record possibly the Club, and then it became Balance.
You guys have all gone through the nerd thing of Crazy from the Heat, 5150, Eat 'em and Smile, OU812, all that stuff back and forth, right?
What do you mean back and forth?
Huh?
Crazy from the Heat from David Lee Roth first, followed by 5150, the police code for being insane.
Oh,
yeah. Eat 'em
So
and
was that
Smile,
like a
Eat 'em
back
and
and
Smile, Eat 'em and Smile, followed by OU812,
yeah.
That's the obvious one. Yeah.
followed by A Little Ain't Enough, followed by Fuck.
Well, I heard.
I mean, just
I remember hearing
that's one of the weird nerd. That's one of the next level nerd shit conspiracy, tying them all in together. That there was the secret, fuck you back and forth between the two camps, and that it was done by album titles.
Well, I heard that there was like you said, the conspiracy about.
And then, but see, remember, after Fuck, what came from David Lee Roth?
Your filthy little mouth.
There you go.
Oh.
Now, see, that wraps a nice bow on it.
Merry Christmas.
And then balance.
Well, balance, even balance could fit that in somewhere. What did Dave release after balance or before balance? I don't know what his mid 90s was.
Well, it was
After Your Filthy Little Mouth was the DLR band record that nobody.
It was
bought.
the Betty Page one.
Yeah, the one that John Lowry played on, which is a great record. Nobody cared.
I think I got it. I think I have that from the bargain bin. I think I got it for $1.
I bought it brand new when I was living in Miami. When I was living at Desmond's house, I remember buying that, listening to it once. It had some basketball song. Wasn't there some basketball?
Slam Dunk, which actually some of that stuff ended up on a Mike Hartman record because he played on the album.
Yeah.
Mike Hardman.
No.
Actually, I have a fun little piece of promo from that album.
I don't know.
No, because he passed away. He died. Mike Hartman. He had some medical issue where he died after that.
Well, I had no idea.
Yeah. And then what was after that? And then after that, Roth did the Sammy and
no, he did the Diamond Dave record, the one that was half covers.
Oh, wasn't there like some sort of pay-per-view with that too?
That was the 4th of July Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Yeah, so you lost me by that point. I didn't care. Well, I still don't.
Sorry, because he sent
David Lee Roth solo at that point. I don't care at all.
This is the interesting thing. I got some like tags from him, like legal tags, and he was used. That was back when he was using a lot of public domain shit because he had no money.
Paul, chart it again.
Wayno. Yeah, I lived at Desmond Child's house. He was my manager at the time.
Yeah, see, my little tags, my custom tags from David Lee Roth in Memphis way back when. He did the 4th of July Spectacular. I'm looking for the Slam Dunk single.
Boston too. I think he did the Boston Pops. 4th of July. Maybe it was New Year's or 4th of July.
Here you go. There's the pre-release of the album, which is literally a CDR.
Oh God.
A CDLR.
Yeah. But he literally did it with like my first CD labeler. This is as low rent as it gets.
What jump money gets you.
That's a collectible, man.
Sure it is. If you say so.
It's got Dave's fingerprints all over it.
And no, it does. He pressed it himself. Here's the cool part. I got the Slam Dunk single with Betty Page. Right? And it's again another my first CD.
Oh my God.
Oh no, this was literally I'll tell you the story.
Wow.
I'll tell you the story. And here's the cool part of it. The cool part is, you got the J card and everything like that. But boom, motherfucker!
Oh.
There you go.
That's kind of a neat thing.
That is cool. Hell yeah.
So I was program director of a station in Memphis called WMFS, which was
WMFS.
WM. Yeah, we were actually a Howard Stern station. And I was the interim program director for a while.
Right.
Show what?
And
I just sent a picture to the Straturday.
Well, Paul's telling a story.
I know. Well, in the meantime, Johnny can look it up.
So I'm the interim program director of this station. and we had the David Lee Roth single for Slam Dunk. And I get a phone call. Nice.
The EMT crew.
The EMT crew. But that's
In the
with that Harvey Levin smile. And I get a phone call from a girl named Christine.
Ooh.
Christine is David Lee Roth's secretary.
Ooh.
And she's calling to tell me that they're going to send me a promotional copy of the record. Thank you for playing the single. We want to make sure we get the record to you. You can't play anything else off the record, but Dave wants you to have the whole album and get feedback from it. So all the time I'm on the phone with her, I hear this in the background. And it's fucking Dave yelling in the background. Who are you on the phone with? What are you doing? What's going on? So I say to Christine, is this a Jerry Maguire situation? And she starts busting out laughing. Thank you. And apparently, it was literally that. It was one office with a desk, and she was like the Renee Zellweger to David Lee Roth's Jerry Maguire.
Really?
Yeah. And he said when she starts laughing, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" And that's my story.
I like that story, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I know. It sounded like it.
And those are some collectibles, dude.
Hell fucking yeah, they are.
Man, that's
great
And
stuff.
you're surrounded by cool stuff.
When he was an EMT, it was in the Bronx, obviously. Just kick ass.
Yeah, what do you think a David Lee Roth autograph nowadays will get you?
I don't know, because I have an autographed David Lee Roth pith helmet.
Jay Santos, Phil Hendry.
Like I said, more than mine.
Oh,
I don't know, Mike.
I do.
Probably every bit as much as a Sammy Hagar autograph would get you these days.
I've got tons of those.
Your security is really putting the tight reins on us here.
No. Hey, Canton, Ohio guy. Jay's looking at his phone. What do you think?
Oh, sorry. I was looking at my phone too.
I'm going to look at my iPad.
How much you paying these guys?
Are they midgets, just like the Van Halen security from '84? Because that would be funny.
We only get paid till 3 a.m. So, or I only get paid till 3 a.m. So I'm off the clock right now.
Jay, you just got on.
Yeah, but I'm about to
come
get
in
off.
halfway through the show. It's time to
Giggity.
go.
Are we good?
Are we?
We good, Tony?
Does everybody want us to end? Or
Actually, I'm sorry. John Biel, are we good?
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Wow.
There we go.
What's what we're talking about?
That was
Classing it up.
I don't know. Anyone up for another 20 minutes? 20 minutes? 3:30? Anyone? Or you guys want to get out of here?
It's up to you, man.
I can go for 20 more minutes.
Let the chat figure it out. Let the chat sort them all out.
Saturday night overtime.
Jay,
Venus.
please.
Now this is starting to become a Mancuda show.
Well, they'll let me keep you up. You know.
I'm going to subscribe to chat security for Nerd Halen.
Yeah.
We got Keep It Going, OT, 12:30.
Encore. I'll be right back. I'm going to get another water.
Well, Johnny said he was going to keep us on for the after show, so let's make this the after show. All right. So we're off the air. What does Sammy say? Cameras off. Cameras on the audience. It's all yours.
Yeah, but we can't talk shit.
Yeah.
As opposed to what we've been doing.
Yeah, I'm going to go get another water and some cookies.
Yeah, I gotta let the dogs out.
Yeah. Let me get a couple cookies.
Kill the sound effects. Somebody doesn't like the sound effects.
Oh, come on, lighten up.
We'll just keep that going for the rest of the night.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Michael's in the dark. Johnny, Jay, and Paul are gone. Caleb's on his phone, so it's me and Michael in the dark there.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hey, man.
How you doing?
It's good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you lately. I mean,
You know,
Been
past
busy
few times or whatever.
Yeah.
couple
busy.
2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Glad to be back. This is literally like fucking mental therapy for me, man. And I need it.
Yeah, how you been, Michael? You been traveling a lot?
Yeah. Traveling more than I should with COVID, you know. It's always, I mean, part of my job. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to do what I got to do to make sure the railroads are safe. Wyoming is killing me. I'm in Wyoming like every other freaking weekend. But whatever. I'm not complaining. I got a job, man. I'm
Ben
blessed.
Tom wants to know how your Frankie's doing, Michael. How's your new Frankie?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it, man.
The three guys on the bottom have their nice new Frankies. I've got my Frankie-esque Frankie original 78 Frankie. We went through this last week.
You're fake. You're Fanky.
Well,
you're fake.
Fake.
Look, I'm a little late to the game. You know, it's
Fanky. Fankery.
Caleb did his what do you call it? The stealth, the 5150 stealth or the 5150. What do you call yours?
Stainless steel.
Stainless 5150 stainless. Johnny's got the 84.
You're muted, Jay.
We can't hear Jay.
God damn, I said something funny too. God damn it.
I can tell.
Oh, you know what'd be cool? My Frankie, I said earlier, I haven't done nothing. I've done no upgrades. Caleb,
How about any downgrades?
say again?
Any downgrades? You take the trem off or something?
I dropped it and broke the head. That's another story. Caleb.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. Caleb, show the upgrade that you did, and then Jay, after Caleb, if you don't mind. I'm curious. What do you want to do with yours?
Oh.
What are you thinking about?
How about our friend Craig, though, rebuilt his it completely?
Oh, my God, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
The quarter. I did these things, the reflectors.
On the show live.
How's that cooking?
I did the stripes up here because they're off. Like, show yours, Michael, and show mine.
Okay, hold on. Let me go mine.
Oh, Michael just pulled his pants down. Wait a minute.
Mine is better than yours because I made it right. You losers.
We all know mine's incorrect.
You guys are disrespecting the memory of Eddie Van Halen by holding improper guitars.
I just put my pants down and broke my big screen TV, which is 8 feet away from me. But let me tell you this.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Johnny, put the three of them up, and you guys hold them all up together.
Well, then get out of here.
We're gonna have to leave then.
so all I did, I just put black. Oh, okay. There you go. So I just put some like black duct tape here and white duct tape here, and then more black here, and then I actually use a Sharpie to do the chip paint thing.
That's pretty cool.
And this is just a white piece of it's already peeling. See, already peeling. But look, that's what I did. It's very cheap. But
and look at the difference, Jay.
What?
Just the way.
Oh yeah,
the worn mark here.
Yep, you got the two dots.
Yep, I don't see that in yours.
Well, my two dots are in the black paint. Yours are in the white. Well, no, you have two holes in the black. Never mind.
That's a great thing about these guitars. Every single one of them are very close, but different.
Here we go.
Thumbnail
Yeah, thumbnail right there.
right there. Yep. See, the captain's neck is still very dark because he got a first batcher.
Well, plus, he's in the dark, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's brighter. Want to bust my balls? Hold on a second.
Pull your guitar back, Mike. Now he's gone.
Yeah. Well,
There you go.
Pull it back. Pull it back.
pull it out. Pull it back.
Father.
Pull it up and pull it.
He's gonna have to go into the water. Gotta get in the poop deck so we can see the whole thing.
Okay. Hold on. How's that?
There we go.
Mike, you got you got to put the your tremolo bar in, dude. It looks stupid without it.
Motherfucker.
It really does.
Hold on a minute.
Nah, it's fine. Somebody, if that's the thumbnail, somebody will comment and say, "Why doesn't the guy in the middle have this?"
You're right. Oh, you're right.
End the show. End the show.
I was ready to call you a twatosaurus, but you're right.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah. We go.
It's got to hang though. You got
Yeah, it's gotta hang. What are you doing?
Got to hang. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good.
What else you want me to do with the fucking thing?
Oh, we're off the air.
I see you live. You're so full of shit right now.
So, question: do they all have the FR 1000s, right? They don't have the German Floyd.
Yes.
That'll be an upgrade then, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't say EVH on the plate. Which it does.
It also didn't come with a 1971 quarter on it, but you did that to it.
I sure did.
Right. So why wouldn't you put a German Floyd on it unless the FR 1000 works fine?
I'm still waiting for Steve Anderson to send me one.
Ah.
Is he live right now?
Oh, that's son of a.
He might be live because Fender Guru went live at the same time we did. I saw.
What?
Dick.
Oh,
But they're talking about Clapton. So.
Dick move.
69 thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up.
I'm spinning my guitar tassel.
Are they live?
Oh, Johnny, did you see that
Helicopter arm.
picture I put on the chat? I found there was somebody posted on Facebook the original Ed Gunner's belt strap, and they're selling them. Not that I'm not promoting this guy, but I bought
You
one.
just did.
The one that was on the Frankenstein or the original guitar,
Right.
and then on the Shark.
Yes, and it had like a it's a World War II gunner's belt, so
Right.
it has a really unique clip for the spring.
Yeah,
I sent you the
Yeah.
picture. Somebody just randomly, I saw it on Facebook. They were making the I don't know if it's they have the original Army surplus stuff.
Oh, I see it. I
but
see it.
they're yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
somebody's making replicas of those.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if Ed's actually said inspected September 50 or because he said that's one of the things he does is he puts the paint on it. So yeah. It's really
That's pretty cool.
cool. Yeah. I can't remember who shared that on Facebook, but as soon as I saw it, I got right in contact with him. And this guy, it's called Rigger's Depot. Rigger, like kind of like an army rigger or a rigger. They've got all the kinds of parachute
Rigger.
stuff and rigging.
Do they have
stuff.
jumpsuits? I need a new jumpsuit.
I bet they do. I bet they do. Rigger Depot.
Well,
Your rigging suits.
Ben Tom
'Cause
wants to
Eddie
know
jumps.
is it possible to teach someone to do the hummingbird picking? I don't know. Is it possible to learn it? I could teach it, but you got to be able to learn it. So
You with the
Gotta learn.
teaching.
Like focusing a laser beam.
I could never do it. I could never. I mean, yeah. What? That's.
Come on, all of us.
I could never do it. I mean, and no, Fender Guru is not live. They were live. They finished an hour ago.
It's got little guitars.
Oh my
Whoa,
god!
hey now.
Oh,
Whoa!
Whoa!
What?
oh, yuck!
I'm getting my pick. What are you talking about? Johnny, I
time
grabbed my pick.
You said
oh,
What are
pick,
you
right?
talking about?
Right? You pick.
My God, you guys were fucking heads in the goddamn gutter.
It's funny.
Oh my goodness.
I never thought about how I picked until you started doing that.
Does everyone else hold their pick Eddie style, like middle finger and thumb, with the
Only when
top?
I do this.
Of course,
No,
Of course.
I do.
I don't.
No,
I always do.
Didn't-
Everything I do is
That's-
like that.
That's
Really?
the way I learned back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
Reading interviews with Ed, I don't even think I saw a picture of it. I read the interview. Okay, middle finger, top finger on.
Yeah, I would have to take my hand off the guitar to do the hummingbird. I can't do that. I'm so used to having my palm resting against the side of the guitar while I pick.
You got to.
Now, what about the Kirk Hammett? Jay, have you tried the Kirk Hammett with the middle finger? This one?
Actually,
You look at
part-
Kirk Hammett.
this part of my
that's
arm
his style.
is
does a lot.
constantly anchored in the same spot when I do the hummingbird, right on the heel of the guitar, right there. So it never moves. So
It's all on the wrist, right?
I don't even anchor it. I don't.
I'm twisting I'm rotating the arm, the radius around the ulna, I call it.
It's supinating the wrist.
Yes.
Really
And then
call
it's
it
a spasm. It's a spasm.
The radius, yeah. The radial.
It's hard
Well,
to
I'm
do.
going to listen to Jason Becker and just do my thing. Because I'm incapable of doing your thing.
I can play a few of those notes. Unplugged Straturday night.
I'm unplugged.
Unleashed.
Here you go.
Unleashed.
Here you go.
Night. Everyone.
Fly starting.
Faking it.
One of us will do the drone, and somebody else play the. I can't do it. Like,
Look at that. It's
In
time. Look at that.
oh, all right.
Oh.
Look at that baby face.
Oh.
Like,
He's decided.
it's time. Boom padita, boom padita, boom padita, boom padita, boom padita. I'm not gonna do it alone.
We've
Come on,
tried this
4-part
before.
harmony.
We know how this works out.
Bombadita.
Well, Kirk Hammett. If I do that on this, it's going to go out of tune.
It wasn't into it's gonna go into tune.
Oh. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So, John Beale, the sooner we click end on here, the sooner we can get to talking crap. So,
I don't have the end button in front of me. You have the end button in front of you. But anyway, if we're saying goodnight, then I'd like to say thank you to everyone and have a great week, all. And especially thank you, Johnny.
Thanks, Dave Lopez, for coming on.
Thank you, Dave Lopez. Great stories.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Dave Lopez. Dude.
Leave comments below. Any comments you have? Any problems you have with us? You can,
please leave comments that you have to go to news first to read.
Please praise Caleb for his very good joke. Thank you, Shot Security, for Nerd Halen.
Feed Caleb's ego a little bit. He needs it. No, he
can't wait for the comments.
Nerd Halen Security is going to help him out too. Yeah, make sure
I'll show that one
nobody
for John Paul.
I think Nerd Halen Security is off the hook right now.
Well, anyway, have a great week and good night.
Go fuck yourself. I'm talking about.
So now is the time we talk shit about everyone in the chat. Infinite screen, yeah. It's gonna just keep going. It's like a bad nightmare. Just keeps going.
That's so fucking funny when it's you.
That's all. It's like you just keep trying to end it. Just keep trying.
Oh no! Now I'm getting in trouble. Oh crap! Okay.
Hey Ellie.
Oh my goodness! What is that? Yeah, we can hang out all night if you want. I mean, you know. Yes, Ben. End this BH.
It's funny. You have the power to end this. You can just fucking exit any time, but you won't.
Me? I hope you're not talking to me.
That's why he's so awesome.
You're talking to me.
Say goodnight. No, don't leave.
John, come back.
Johnny, come back.
You thought you were out, and then we pulled you back in.
We thought it was over. We're going for another 4 hours.
We'll come back.
Mancuda, we're gonna do this all night.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He's rubbing it out.
Whoa.
what's going on?
Yep.
I gotta go to bed at some point here. So.
Fuck you!
Right.
You were the one that said we're staying an extra half hour.
It's 3:31.